Welcome back, y'all. It's Shonen Pulse, episode 38. It's a manga podcast. We talk about Japanese comic books over here. 9 of them, well, 10 of them now to be specific. A couple of them on break this week, though, but the usuals are Chainsaw Man, Dandadan, Centuria, in no order, by the way. Gachi Yakuta, Shangri-La Frontier, Ranger Reject, Otr of The Flame, Ichi The Witch, Kagurabachi, and now we are also talking about Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. Today we got a short crew. It's the Velvet Bros on here. The other guys, Weeb and Traffer, will not be joining us because they suck. They got like headaches and stuff. I don't know. Be calling out for headaches. That's crazy. Boss fire and they shit. But I think Knox got a sore throat or something. Let the people know how you feeling.
Yeah, I got some chest and neck ailments, but through hell or high water, I'm here to talk about manga. So he won't catch me calling in for weakling shit like headaches or lack of rest. I do it till the wheels fall off, you feel me?
Yeah, the Mongolian butt throat has transferred over to him. So Velvet Bros are in the house today, but one of them got a sick throat or whatever. But as usual, the usual things. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you again for helping us hit that thowie on the subscribers. But keep hitting that button, baby. Also hype the damn video down below in the comment section or whatever. There's a button down there that you can hit to hype the video up, and it'll help us get to some leaderboard that shows it to more people. Helps with the algorithm and stuff like that. Do it, man. It's for the kids.
Yeah, and it's
Also,
crazy that it's just the two of us, considering what a special occasion this episode is. Do you know what I'm about to say?
no, what's the
Ah,
occasion?
it's our 1 year anniversary, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, happy anniversary to Shonen Pulse and Panel Focus, and to you guys who've been tuning into us for a year now. If you've been tuning us for a year, you probably fake just got here today. But yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
us, man.
Yeah,
We've
our
been
first
doing this thing.
video was September 12th of last year.
Okay, well, shit then. Shit on them, dropping big turds. Yeah, panel focus, we here. We got more stuff coming. But before I forget, because last time I forgot, we got a Patreon and our channel is set up for memberships. So you can find the links to those in the description down below. I know the intro running long, but y'all gonna have to forgive me. You know how it is. Money's involved, baby. But hit those links and stuff. Nothing promised right now. Just for support. So you don't have to do it, but if you want to be, extra kind and help some guys make afford some McChickens, hit the buttons. Support the channel. And if you don't, then it's cool to keep just liking the video, hitting the subscribe button, and hitting the other the hype button. They be adding a lot of features, man.
Yeah.
YouTube be doing stuff. But
Click
anyway,
around.
yeah, click around, click the buttons, share the video with some friends, let them know we be in here having bad takes about Chainsaw Man and all that good stuff. But
Uh,
moving on, we'll start off this show here because we got some things not here and some things are doubling up. But starting off with Centuria, chapter 66, 100-fold power, liquidation, and absolute defense. And I guess before we get into it, I got some things. I feel like it's been a while since I've had like complaints or criticisms for Centuria, but we back, baby. Yato's got some things to point out.
oh no,
So
is it art related?
there's two art related things that I just thought was weird. There's probably some more, but I'm forgetting.
All
But
right.
just with the first page, like I immediately like this is Roche or whatever her name is. We're returning to Balkar Loa, the unholy city. That just felt like it was for the reader because
Yeah.
like if she's reporting to her homegirl, like you don't need to call the whole, you don't need to give the government name of the city. She could have just said like we're coming back to the city,
Yeah, or we're
but
coming
she
back to
gave
home base.
yeah, like
Yeah.
this felt very for the reader. Like, oh, their unholy city. It's called Balcarloa. Like,
Yeah.
could have just said we coming back to the crib, fucking get the transport ready, have the fucking stretchers out and all that shit. But I was
Yeah.
like, this is
No,
this
now
is
that you
for us.
mention it, yeah, no, I definitely see what you're saying because, like, what she could have done is say, "This is Roche. We're reporting back to headquarters," or something like that, and then the next
Yeah,
page you see Madame Madeline. Um, that's her name, right? Yeah, the one with the hat and the
yeah,
eye patch or whatever. You could have
yeah,
just put like a superimposed, narration box that says, Balkar Loa, the unholy city, and like as an indication of the location,
yeah.
or whatever on the next page where she presently is located. So I definitely
Could have
understand
even
what you're saying
could have
there.
even shown like some of the city, like in the background, like maybe like not have this top panel of Madame Madeline be so like so involved in this room. Like it could have been, her standing at a window or something, and like you see the city outside the window, so we
Yeah.
can see, what makes this city so unholy. Because like she's just vibing in like a fucking library room or whatever. Like I can't, nothing is like screaming, unholy. I feel like there was an opportunity there to like show what makes this unholy. Maybe have some gargoyle statues or some ghouls jumping through the night or something. I don't know. Some fucking fiends out on the street. I don't know. Something.
Yeah,
But
definitely. I think that's fair. That's a fair gripe or whatever.
yeah. And then I mean, other than that, the other two things were like art related on this like third page, Bertha the Radiant. I feel like I mean she looks fine, but like her left eye looks like it's pushed up, like she's like disgusted with me. Like she walked in on me like peeing behind a tree or something. It was like scumbag. I don't know. And the other one was like
I fuck
way
with mean
later.
girls, so like she could look at me like that all day, and that's gonna
Oh
have my
yeah.
shit throbby. But anyway,
I mean, yeah, I'm down with it. Is just like, is that the vibe? Like, is she looking down at me, or is
you're
she?
looking
Because I
down
kind
at
of feel like,
somebody.
yeah, I kind of feel like she's disgusted, but this also just is like, I don't know, like, is this just candid headshot type shit? Like, what are we? I don't know. Is she posing? The other one was page 9, Lacrima, just some eyeball stuff, man. Just tore.
While she's getting
What's
tore up or whatever.
yeah, just her. I guess you could like say it's like water related, like her face is like shifting or something because she's like water. But like this top panel, her fucking eyes look crazy.
They
Like it
do look kind of
don't.
crazy now that I'm looking at it. You know, it's funny that you're having this complaint in a chapter like this because this is a chapter where I thought all of the character art was like super on point, man. Like if you look at like page 7, like everyone looks great in the panels underneath Orthros. And then another one where I was like, damn, Toru really drew the shit out of Julian in this panel was on page 11 while he's like kind of guarding Lacrima's heart from the water whips that Orthros is throwing out. Like I just thought that
Yeah,
everyone looked great. I thought the art was like better than usual throughout the chapter on like a consistency level. So it's interesting that you have the art gripes here and there, but I mean I do see him. I do still see him, but the Lacrima one I think we can safely say like she's getting ripped apart, and her form is
yeah.
solid enough for something like that to matter. But
It's just very there's inconsistencies. Like sometimes he'll snap and then sometimes it's derpy. But I
right,
do I do really like this drawing of Lacrima on page 14 where she's like not a chibi style, but like silly. Like I don't know what the word is for this, but she's got like a heart and she's like talking about how she's moving it. And her
yeah, it's like
eyes like
diagram style.
yeah, yeah, but like she looks, perfect. They're like her eyes. I mean, they're like bubbly, like Powerpuff Girls. But like
Uh,
I like the way she looks there. She looks like this looks like a character that would be in some school setting rom com or something.
yeah, for
Not
sure.
whatever this is, but anyway, stupid gripes aside, I thought it was a cool chapter.
Yeah,
Yeah, what you?
next one's gonna be fire.
Oh yeah,
I can already tell, and it seems like we are still throughout the events of this chapter back in time from when we first saw their like initial confrontation with Orthros, like however many chapters ago, where we were like, okay, Lucas got the shield out, Julian's clearly taken some damage, Lacrima's like got some kind of like water defense up that she like it looks like she has taken some kind of attack and is just like barely recovering from it. We had talked about how it looked like the fight had already started with Orthros by the time we kind of panned back to them after all of the witch stuff was done with Altus and Arcos or whatever. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute now. We need to go back and see like how all this shit started or whatever. And over the last couple of chapters, it seems like we have been back in time trying to get back to that point. And now at the end of this chapter, we like are finally back to where they were when we first kind of switched perspectives back to the Orthros and Julie, Lucas and Lacrima fight. So that's cool
yeah,
to notice or whatever.
yeah. And they're starting to piece together some of how his powers work and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
the point that they seem to have made in this chapter was like, yo, he's too powerful, but he must have some kind of weakness. Like, yeah, he can copy all of our abilities, but he can't copy our experience with these. What it kind of like
yeah,
seems like the point is trying to make, and that's a really big deal that can very easily be exploited if they just kind of like lock in and do some kind of like hive mind strategy on how to exploit their own weaknesses together in order to
Uh,
defeat Orthros. But on top of that, it still feels like they're kind of hinting at some kind of overarching weakness that Orthros' ability to copy other people's abilities kind of has inherently. So I don't know like what's going to be the thing that ultimately gets them out of this situation. I don't know if it's going to be a combination of them exploiting each other's weaknesses in regard to their own individual abilities, or if it's going to be an exploitation of, this potential overarching weakness of Orthos's ability itself. So that's something that
yeah,
I'm really excited to see how it goes one way or another.
it's
It could be both too. Could be both things.
yeah, it's definitely a tricky situation to be in because like it would also give each other like finding a way around like the shield would then put Lucas in a weird spot if like if he ever became an enemy to Lacrima and Julian. It's like okay, we figured out a way around the shield, so now they kind of have an idea of how to beat me if it
If
ever
they
came
needed
to it and shit
to,
like
yeah.
that.
But also
Yeah,
at the same time, fighting someone who has your own ability can teach you more about your own ability and how to kind of supplement whatever weakness or caveats that are inherent in your own strategy
for
now that
sure.
you're kind of having to go up against it yourself. Like this is something that is probably brand new for everybody involved. So they might come out of this fight that much stronger in their own capabilities, knowing how, seeing directly how their own abilities can be countered might be
Yeah.
able to help them cover their own bases in future conflicts, if another enemy were to figure out how to exploit their own weakness. So it's just a really cool situation to kind of to get in a story like Centuria that's all about advantages and disadvantages and strategy and how to overcome certain weaknesses that you find out about the enemy in front of you.
Yeah.
It's just really tight, man.
It gives Lacrima a lot of experience too because we know she's gonna end up fucking in combat. Like another water nigga is gonna be fucking involved at some point.
You
So
think
like all of
so?
them are getting somebody's going. Altus slash Arcos is still alive, breathing, so he's
True.
gonna be back for sure. And like even if they don't see him for a while, I feel like they're probably gonna run into another water person. But I don't know. This is it's good for these characters to get the experience. And just like I said, they can copy. He can copy their moves, but not the experience. And I like when they do that. That happened in that was a topic that kind of got touched on very briefly in My Hero Academia when All for One was about to like steal Best Genius quirk, and he was like, "It's a great fucking quirk." But it's one that requires mastery. He gave him kudos. He was like, shout out to you because you like incredible with this quirk, but it's not one that would fit Shigaraki because it's something that would take a lot of fucking time. So I'm not even gonna steal your shit. Like you can keep that quirk, but
Oh shit, that must have
like
been
in this
after I had stopped reading because I do not remember that. That's in
this
the
was
final
this was
arc.
early. No, this was in the like initial the first time All for One showed up when he like blew up the shit and they
Oh,
were
wait a minute. Yeah, I remember. I remember. I do remember that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Damn, it's
There's
been a long time.
Yeah, that was when it was peak. But
Yeah,
like he was like, yeah, no, you got mastery of this quirk, and it's one that like you can't just it's not just fireball. I can't just take this and give it to somebody, plug it up, and they go. Like this is a quirk that requires a lot of experience and time and shit to make it good. So
yeah,
same thing with these powers. It's like he can use the shield, but like he'll know all kinds of shit he could do with it. It's just like I got a big shield, but he probably could do some freak shit with it. And same with the water whips and stuff. He's just fucking flinging them around, aimlessly, just hoping to cut them in half and beat their ass. And I mean, he is cutting fucking Lacrima, but
yeah. And I mean,
yeah,
with something like Lacrima's ability, especially in tandem with the hundredfold strength that he gets from Julian, it seems like experience offensively isn't as necessary for his use of Lacrima's ability because sure, Julian makes a comment about how um, his water whips that he's used them are just so quick and so lethal that experience doesn't even really matter there because he can just back it up with a hundredfold strength, and it's like okay, we can't deal with that anyway. Even if he lacks the experience power, all he literally has to do is just spam AOE attacks with the water, and the hundredfold strength just kind of like does the rest. So that's kind of scary. It reminds me a lot of like in Hunter x Hunter, when
oh
fucking
brother,
when fucking Yuppie is fighting Shoot, and he's literally just like sprouts like 19 arms from his back and just starts whipping them around like at high speeds, and Shoot kind of like can't get in between his offense because like every single strike is potentially lethal if it lands a direct hit. Like he gets grazed like a bunch and still almost dies. If any of them would have hit like directly in any kind of vital point, he would have been one-shotted. But it's literally just spamming, flailing arms in an AoE, hoping you don't hit. And that's such a hard ability to deal with when you don't have the stamina or the vitality or the HP of someone like a Julian, for example. Because Julian runs right into those to protect Lacrima's heart, fakes that shit as he kind of. But like everyone else, I would have wanted to say that Lucas couldn't. I mean, he has the ultimate defense or whatever, sure, but when you have tendrils that are, so everywhere, it's like
Yeah.
sure the ones that run into the shield aren't gonna hit you, but the one that banks off the shield could easily like whip around and curl around and get you in like the nape of the neck or some shit. And then what can you do? Kind of has to have his and you kind of have to have Julian tank it a little bit, which he has been.
Yeah.
And so like they're dealing with everything well enough, but it's time to figure out exactly what to exploit to get the job done because they all don't have unlimited HP. So
Right, and they say, where is it? They're talking about like him. They say he can't leave his position. I wonder if that's like they're saying he can't move, or if that's like he just can't stop. Like he can't like reposition the shield because of his shield. I can't find it now. Where was it?
yeah, they're saying his single weak point is his heart, and he's using the shield of absolute defense to cover it. But they were making the point that like he shouldn't have to do that because if he's using Lacrima's ability, he should be able to move his core or his heart around anywhere. So why do you have to
Oh
keep
yeah,
the
it's the
shield in
heart.
front of
Yeah.
it? Yeah, so like
Okay.
yeah, that's the thing he can't do is move the heart around like
Yeah, yeah.
Lacrima.
Thought they were saying like he couldn't move his body, but no, he can't. He just can't move the heart. Okay, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, in a way, I mean, this really the lacrima part really works for him because it just allows him to fucking attack them from 30 fucking feet away and they can't do shit.
right.
Makes me wonder like if lacrima will somehow get some way to like harden her body in the future so that she, even though she's made of water, like maybe she can do something so that if she's hit by strikes like this, she doesn't just dissipate and get turned, sliced or whatever. I mean, getting sliced is good. Becoming intangible is cool, but like, when
Yeah.
her heart is at risk, like her heart's getting like slapped out of her chest or whatever. So it's
And I
like,
don't know if she did this before, but like if someone really is going for the heart and they have the fucking core like open and like in sight and they could send a fatal strike to the heart, I wonder if it's possible for her to just like create like a pressure washer style barrier like around the heart so that the attack just like can't reach it. Because like if you just put water in front of the heart, like you can cut through that and get to the heart. But if you like, shoot the water around the heart in like water pressure style way, then you can deflect attacks even if your heart is like wide open for it. Maybe she could of this fight with some kind of newfound understanding of her own capability. The heart is exposed. She's not like dead to rights
yeah,
if an enemy locates it and attacks it.
she kind of does like a water Rasen gun or something
Type
around her
shit.
heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be fire. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Lacrima's got a trump card, so
Yeah. What do you think that is? Wait,
uh,
is it? It has to be something new, right? Like, hasn't she? I feel like
um,
she's maybe used a trump card of sorts like earlier, isn't it? When she like increased her mass or something like that.
that's what I was thinking too. But
Yeah, but it seems like they're trying to
excuse me,
set up something new or different here.
maybe she's like I don't know. I think of like water powers like this. I'm thinking grow in size or like fucking make it rain or fucking get her body like some of her water in his body and fucking do some blood bending type shit or something. Like maybe she can kind of like how she was doing with TT when she was like she attached like some of her body to TT's body and was like keeping her, healing her wounds or whatever.
Oh
Maybe she
yeah,
can do like the opposite or something.
where she goes
Like
inside of his body, but instead of to help him, it's to hurt him.
yeah, like maybe when he I mean, it'd be weird to call it a trump card, but like I'm thinking, like maybe the next time he slashes, like she grabs it and shoots water like to his heart through, traveling up his watery limb like a straw or whatever.
Oh,
But that wouldn't, trump card is something like my fucking spirit bomb. Like I know I got that move. You don't just know you got the
right.
ability to like travel up someone else's watery limbs unless
Yeah,
it's like you plan to kill your brother, 5 years ago with that move or something. I don't know.
and maybe it's something related to like blood too. Like we know that Arcos in his manipulation of his abilities can be blood related as far as like keeping his circulation going, keeping his like heart beating, despite any kind of like serious damage that he's taken or whatever. But like I'm thinking about it, like if she takes her blood and manipulates it in a way to where she puts it inside of Orthros's body, there could be like a blood rejection kind of thing, like their blood types aren't compatible, and then it becomes like a poison.
Yeah.
It's like you got someone else's blood in you that's not supposed to be there, or something like that. You know, like a blood disease thing, something. I used to hear about like back in the day, like sharing razors. You know,
Hmm.
like between like two different people isn't a good idea because like you can get their blood in your body, create like a blood disease kind of effect because the blood isn't compatible. I don't know where I heard that. That might not be a thing. I'm not a doctor,
I think it
but
is.
yeah,
You can get like AIDS and shit like that,
yeah, type shit. I don't know why. I don't know.
I think.
I don't know why I didn't think about that, but yeah, it could be something like that. Like I'm about to just put this blood in them and give them HIV or some shit. That'd be
Yeah,
crazy.
I would love if she kind of like transitioned to just like not just like water and then started doing like blood shit. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Some kind of infection or something.
right. Yeah, but I mean that's all the speculation that I really have as far as like what the trump card could really be. But I feel
Yeah,
like when it comes to these kind of like battle shonen stories, they set up a cliffhanger like this, and it's like I'll use my trump card, and the author knows full well like what conclusions the reader will potentially come to based on the information that they have, and they normally like come up with some out there idea that's just like so different than like what we ever could have guessed, and it ends up making like so much sense and you smack yourself in the head like how could I not think of that. That's like the power of some of these storytellers, is that especially on the Japanese side of things, like the conflict resolution always comes down to something like that. And
yeah,
I'm so here for that aspect of this genre storytelling. It's like one of my favorite things about it, where it's like we can sit here and think all day, like based on all of the storytelling that's come so far, and go, it has to be either this, or maybe this, and then suddenly the author's just like, it was actually this, and it's like,
yeah,
oh my god, that's so fucking cool. It happens all the time, and I wonder how potent that's going to be in the next chapter, or if we were spot on or what. Can't wait to see.
yeah. I wonder, like, I guess the last theory is maybe she could absorb him because, like, remember, like, as she attacked and fought Julian earlier, she was kind of like reducing in size because like there wasn't enough water. So maybe like, I don't know, is Orthros? It doesn't seem like he's pulling from like any water source. So he might start running low, or like maybe she could like grow in size and suck him up into her body and just fucking crush his heart that way.
That would be crazy as fuck.
Like she just fucking eat him.
But then that would mean that like Lacrima kind of handles this entire situation by herself because they haven't really made any kind of progress or headway on Orthro since this fight started. So if it all comes down to like this one idea that Lacrima has, then it's kind of like Julie are just kind of there while Lacrima dealt with this whole thing kind of like by herself, which would be cool. But I want to
Yeah,
say that it should end, the conflict should end through some kind of effort of all three of them. They should all have an equal part in the defeat of an enemy like this, since he's copying all three of their abilities. So like her
fucking.
saying I'll use my trump card, I feel like has to fail. At least like, at first. And then
She
Julian to do something that helps support the trump card maybe later in the fight, and then it does work the second time or something like
she immobilizes him, and then fucking Julian throws Lucas, who fucking stabs his heart with the shield and sword or something.
that. Okay,
I don't know.
fucking with it.
But yeah, I do like just I guess the last thing I want to say is like Orthros is not even like he doesn't even have orders to kill them. She says he's unable to respond flexibly to orders. It'd be helpful if he can kill a few others along the way. He's really just here to fucking kill the bone woman,
Right,
and they just happen to be in the way. So like if they moved, he would just stop fighting if they
right.
like didn't fuck with him. But yeah, it's like he's a machine just
Yeah, that's really
programmed to.
important information. If they found out that that those are his orders and he's basically just like a one mission situation right now that doesn't necessarily include them, that's something to be exploited too at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all about like how much information party has about the other. Another thing I really love about Centuria. I think they, and I forgot that fucking Lucas got his fingers cut off, bro. I'm looking at like page 13 again, and I'm like, yo, he's got the fucking Shigaraki hand. Like I forgot that he lost some digits.
Yeah, when did that happen? Was that is that in this fight or was that with
I think it was in this
Altus?
fight. Or
Okay.
wait, maybe it was with Alt. Oh no, it was with Altus. Yeah, 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 because Altus did that crazy thing. He blocked it and was like, "My ultimate defense still wasn't enough to block everything because I lost these fingers or something like that."
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool chapter.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and then on
Just
page 4, I think it was so funny in the background. You got Helm and Altus like just casually like, yo, the corpses go over here, and they're just like moving like body parts of people around to like where they want them to be. Like while
bruh.
Elstree is talking about Orthros, yeah.
The dude on the fucking page 5 looks hilarious. It looks like he's just in plastic wrap or some shit, but I guess that's like fucking Altus's water, like bubble, put his
Yeah.
body together and shit. But
Yeah.
he looks fucking stupid as hell. Looks like
Yeah.
an action figure or something. Like,
Right. Buzz Lightyear packaging.
yeah, fucking yeah. Good chapter though. Hopefully we get some more information on some of these witches, some of this city stuff, and see what's going on with this trump card.
Yeah, I can see that. Honestly, I can see the unholy city. What's it called? Balkar Loa. I could see that being the
Yeah,
next location because obviously we have, these witches that pulled up specifically to support Diane. So if they make it out of this conflict, like we might go to that location next since these witches are clearly on our side to a certain degree. And then
yeah.
that could be a really cool next location to be at in a story like Centuria, more world building stuff.
Yeah, because this witch, at least she did give Diane the like instructions and was like, the fucking read this and you'll know what to do type shit. And then they aren't saying that they're going, they're returning to this unholy city. So wherever their crib is, they aren't going back to like the kingdom to, so they're separating from Elstree's faction and going back to their own spot. So yeah, it'd be dope to get some witch shit for the next few chapters and get away from fucking water, yeah.
Yeah, witch arc. Here for
Yeah.
it.
We need that. Have some fucking Halloween Town vibes or something.
Let's do it. So you got,
Yeah.
got mean women all over the
Yeah.
place in the witch city. Need more of
Yeah.
that.
Need some of that. Step on me or
I
whatever.
was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
We're sick,
but
man.
but I think I'm squeezed. You got anything else for this one?
No, I'm good too. Next chapter's about to bust though.
Sholia. So that's gonna do it for Centuria, chapter 66, hundredfold power, liquidation, and absolute defense. Now jumping into Dandadan, we got two chapters to talk about, but we'll kind of go quickly through it since don't want to take too much time on it. Dandadan, chapter 208. Who's the real ninja? So, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I loved this fight. We kind of had ideas that we were kind of bouncing off each other of kind of how the fight would go. And we thought that this would be a great time for the great Kenta to pull up on some kaiju fight shit if Vamola wasn't able to secure the W on her own. But I halfway through the chapter, I was thinking of that possibility happening, and then thought about it like, do we really need another situation where female character can't handle it, dude character has to come in and kind of save the day? Like it would be hype for Kenta reasons, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that Vamola and Momo were kind of able to do it on their own.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it feels better that way. But it would have been cool to see Kenta, but I love the strategy that they kind of employed here. Dude, Momo is not to be fucked with on the strategy side of things. We've said it before,
Yeah,
but she was giving like Captain America hardcore in this chapter, jumping into the
she
suit and
always
being like,
does.
I know she does. Like I always forget that she's like that until the
She's
scenes like
their
show that she
tactician.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah, she literally is.
yeah.
And
Like
it made a lot of sense.
yeah, like she always pulls through and comes up with these crazy plans and figures out how to like defeat the guy. She don't got the most muscle and like she be getting tossed around sometimes, but them psionic hands and her brain that should be working double
Yeah,
time.
exactly. I was like
She
so
always figures it
like
out.
when I saw the Vamola Reptar kaiju suit like getting weaved on by the Ninja Chameleon Dojo. I was like, no, she can't hang. And then she started stomping her shit. And I was like, no, the fucking endurance gauge is empty and she's about to, deflate and not be able to use anything. And then I see her like stomped into the ground and I'm like, Kinta, maybe? And then I was like, Kinta time? And then, suddenly they're inside. It's like, oh, that's so perfect because of the distraction of the fireworks and just like this dude's arrogance of wanting to be the better ninja and wanting to prove that to Momo and Vimola, who are using, ninja tactics to a certain degree, was just enough of a distraction for them to slip out of the suit, get into the dojo, and set up some of these bombs. And it's like frog ball sack or whatever the fuck this is that they're planting the
Frog ball sack.
on page 16. I saw that and I was like, yes, Momo, you did the shit. You had the idea and it was really well done. I definitely did not see it coming. So that's
Yeah,
that's what we're here for.
I was not like, I had no idea how they were actually gonna beat this guy. It's like, oh, go inside him, okay, like beat his ass. No, fucking drop his fucking bombs in his in his body.
Yeah, yeah. And and it makes so much sense after the fact, but the way that things are just kind of set up in conflict, it's something where like we were talking about in the Centuria segment. We're like, okay, what are the ways that they can deal with this? It's got to be like this, that, or this, and then here's like the secret fourth option that only the author knows, and you kind of just have to wait until that's always hits.
Yeah. I always like with this scene of Vimola like swinging the kaiju like attacking and missing. It's like I always wonder like how fast these things are actually moving, and it's like is the
Yeah,
kaiju just really slow or is the ninja house just fast? And it reminds me of it takes me back to when Trunks came out of the fucking hyperbolic time chamber and fought
yeah,
Cell, and he was just buff as fuck, and it's like oh yeah he's strong as shit, but he's slow, and it's just
yeah.
like he can't land fucking blows. It's like you look at this fucking kaiju and it's his thighs are huge. Like the muscles of this thing are nuts. It's like
Right.
she's probably moving really slow.
Yeah, it's kind
And
of like Power Rangers fights where they go into the Megazord to fight the you know,
yeah,
when Rita Repulsa's like, "Make my niggas grow," and then she like puts the spell on him to make him kaiju size for the Megazord battle, and they always move so much slower than obviously when they're just regular Power Rangers on the ground fighting putties or whatever.
yeah.
But this
But if
like
that
this
shit
panel
touch you,
on yeah this yeah, exactly, but this panel on 5, it's got the same kind of art as if it's like a really fast like punch that was just like barely evaded. You got the smoke and the dust that kind of like
true.
is creating that circular illustration effect that implies speed, but it's like how fast are they type shit. And
Yeah,
they're in
yeah. Is that
they're in empty space too. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So like how much of a factor is involved in that? Like is
Yeah,
it
is
because
there like wind and shit?
yeah, like how much wind resistance is there? Like how much like whatever, what have you, is going on to kind of like slow these bodies down? Or since they're in empty space, are they effectively, like normal sized, but just like big visually? But like the empty space like makes it to where they don't have the same kind of like physical um or physics related things that would make them have to be slow at that size. I don't know.
Hmm.
Have to see it in motion when they're there, I guess.
Yeah. I wonder, so the Frog Ninja Dojo motherfucker, he mentioned that they were using retro reflective projection technology. And like I know that we knew Vimola could go invisible before, but I don't think it had ever been given like a name for the type of technology. So
Yeah.
now it makes me think, will we see this used more like this have more applications besides Vimola's suit? Because Vimola, she's kind of ditzy. She never, knew she couldn't explain this type of thing. I don't think it's just like, yeah, that's my suit. It just goes invisible. But now they have like a word for it. Can like they probably call up Ludris like, yo, you got any retro reflective projection technology? And it's like, yeah, I got a whole bunch of, like they just start applying it to shit besides Vimola's suit. Now that
Hmm.
they know, have a word for it.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
Be yeah, slap that shit on Kenta. Yo, like, yeah. I just need Kenta fucking W's, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
This is that like everything that they're talking about on a technology level. Whenever a new technological concept kind of comes out, it kind of just like amplifies Kinta's. It's like upscale for Kinta basically because we
yeah.
know that in the future he'll be applying all of this stuff to his kit in one way or another.
Yeah. Yeah, because they can go back to him and be like, yo, we were, turns out this shit is some retro reflective technology. Can you do something? He's like, push his glasses up.
Now that
Fucking,
you mention it, now that I know it
yeah.
exists, of course I'm going to be able to implement it.
Yeah. Yeah, because he can, do the fucking, because the nano skin is like mind based. So if he can think it, then yeah, he can do it. But yeah, good chapter. Moe Moe Tri Beam blew this fucking house to smithereens.
Yeah.
And then I guess we can move into the next chapter. What is this?
209.
209, All Alone. So yeah, this one, bit of feels on it. I wasn't expecting. I didn't know like where we were gonna go with the end of last chapter. And I remember when the last chapter came out, Traffy sent a text. It was like, "Told you like this shit was over. Kensa and them weren't coming or whatever." And I was like, "I ain't hear no bell ringing," because I was just joking like maybe the frog dude won't done or whatever. But he's super cooked, deep
Yeah.
fried, and fucking tossed in the oil and sent on his way. He's done. He's in a box and eating. But yeah, I was not. I didn't know where this was going, so he's just completely gone. That whole thing dissipated, and like he was not only the house, but he was the fucking.
He was the
He
city
was,
too. That's
yeah,
crazy. And now it's just
he
like this
was
fucking
miles.
yeah, it's this like rural, like pastoral, like cornfield, basically, like this farmland. And it's like, holy shit. Like, why the fuck did you make it a whole city? And like how much energy does that take to fake a city?
Yeah, he was just projecting his city and I guess over the regular city, like in empty space or something. But like they just well, I mean, they did go somewhere, so they aren't from this place. So I guess it makes sense that they've never. I was gonna say like you didn't know that like there wasn't a McDonald's on that empty like plot of land before, like you never. But they're not. They like came to this location. They took a plane and shit. So yeah, it makes sense. They've never been here most likely.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this is a chapter. We got Momo all by herself and nobody's here. It's
And
fucking
time has run
Vamola.
out and there's no one there to do the ritual, so she's just gonna like
Yeah.
be wiped from everyone's memories as she turns into fucking pixie dust. And we kind of like see it happen, and I'm like, damn, bro, what the fuck? And then you see the spiritual niggas like pull up like and handle the ritual, I guess. So it's like this is Turbo Granny's doing, right?
That's what I was thinking. Like I feel like if this was not related to Turbo Granny, then it would feel kind of weird because we know that Turbo Granny was out doing stuff to try and figure out how to get it done. So,
Yeah.
it'd
So
be
she has to
like
be related to this in some way. And for a moment I was thinking, I was like, is the one with the long hair and the ball sack mask, like, is that Turbo Granny somehow? But like that doesn't really make sense because this nigga's like 6'5" or something.
yeah, but
So
the
it's like,
mask does kind of resemble her like granny when she was
right?
like a humanoid
That's what
form.
I'm
It does kind of
saying.
look like it.
Yeah, like so it's like, are they gonna do the ritual? Like obviously Momo is back to normal size, which is great, and we love that. The day's been saved, but like, is she gonna take off the mask and be like, "Hey, you bitch," and it's just like Maneki Neko, like Maneki Neko, like Turbo Granny, like sitting on somebody's shoulders or some shit. Like I don't fucking know, like
That'd be nuts. I don't think that's gonna happen,
right,
but that would
but
be
like,
fucking
but
hilarious.
like, where is Turbo Granny in all of this? Then, like, are these just like the people that like she ran up on and was like, because in that one Omake chapter, who did she run up on and say like, "Hey, tell me how to do this shit"? Like, you know how to reverse this spell or whatever. She was yelling at somebody.
It was like
So
some fucking tree baboon owl monster dude. Let me see if I can
yeah, see if
find
you could
it.
pull that up and send it to me so I can actually just look at that one more time. I know that we brought it up on the show before and like went through it and discussed it, but I just want to see it one more again so that I can know like if any of these people could be that specific character that Turbo Granny was talking to in that Omake chapter, or otherwise like these are people that that character she was talking to in the chapter have contracted to do. Because like Turbo Granny has to be involved in some kind of way.
Yeah. Maybe these guys kind of like worship Turbo Granny or something because like, she also kind of looked out for young girls who were down on their luck and, had fucking misfortune find them or whatever. So maybe these guys kind of look up to her. I'm thinking when the next chapter, fucking opens up and Momo wakes up and she's like, who are you guys? And they're like, we're the cults of fucking Turbo Granny or some shit. And she's sitting on she's doing her smug thing, sitting on a pillow cushion or something on top of a table or some shit. And people are like worshiping her, bowing down to her feet or all that good shit. She's like, oh, you're finally up, you stupid rat. Fucking something like that. I'm trying to find because I can't think of the girl's name. There's a I want to say her name is Kendaka. I can't remember her name. There's a girl on Twitter. She does. Oh, here we go. Kai Donata. Here we go. Um, yeah, here we go. Let me see if I can send this to you real quick. Knox
You
on
send it on
Twitter.
Twitter?
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'll
yeah, it
glance through this right
is.
quick.
Yeah, I mean, the hair around this guy's head kind of resembles this like monster or whatever,
Oh, I see
whatever it
it. Yeah.
is. Yeah, Grooney. I'm searching for a certain bastard. Yeah, its name is Abura. So if next chapter this guy like goes, I'm Abura or
Yeah.
whatever, then like we'll know that it's somewhat related.
Yeah.
Actually, let me see. These guys didn't have any kind of symbols on them or anything anywhere, right? No, no kanji or whatever. Just looking to see if like they had the same kind of stuff going on. Nope, nothing.
Yeah, I'm trying to find any kind of similarity aesthetically between the characters in this chapter that do the ritual and help Momo versus the Sabura character. Only thing I can really see is this like straw like hair or whatever coming out the turtle situation.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna have to see what Yukinobu Tatsu kind of has to say about it, I guess.
or maybe like the eyes could be like these circles on these guys, like face cloth or something. But I feel like that's a stretch. Yeah, I don't know. But other than that, it kind of feels like this, very convenient that these guys appeared. I don't know how much time has passed, but I'm flipping through the chapter and I'm like, huh, how is Momo gonna get out of this? And then just here comes fucking dudes marching down the street. We're here to save you. It's like, huh?
Yeah,
Who are you
walks
guys?
right up on like where Momo happens to be, like in this gigantic, like rural landscape, and she's
Yeah,
supposed to be, 2 centimeters tall, and actually just not. I mean, obviously they could probably find her through spiritual energy kind of detection means. Probably exactly what happened. Still, the timing is dummy convenient for it.
yeah. It's like we didn't even see her, on the road by herself, fucking toothpicking a napkin, holding her fucking belongs in the knapsack. Yeah, she
Yeah,
she goes
bandana
from
connected to a stick with the fucking
yeah, yeah.
with the Incredible Hulk ending music in the background, like.
All her valuables in a tube sock. She's chilling and she's crying, miss her people. She disappears and boom, we back, baby. Come to save you. It's like, who
Mhm.
are you niggas? Unless, yeah, I mean, I feel like they got to be related to Turbo Granny because I mean, she's kind of in the situation that Turbo Granny her whole vibe was like finding and taking care of like lost soul. I don't I want to say lost, but I want to say misfortune. So it's like she kind of fits, what
Yeah.
Turbo Granny was doing before they raced her and had her steal Okarun's balls. But
And then in
I
the
do,
art, like when they're doing the ritual, they like walk up into this temple, which is just a crazy temple, by the way. Holy shit, look at this architecture. But they walk up to it. He's like, next, it's your turn. They walk up to it. They walk in there. There's like these like stalagmite, like rocks dangling from the top of the roof or whatever. And there's like some kind of like bath situation, whatever. And he sets this folded up blade of grass or some shit, this leaf. And I think she,
yeah, I thought it was like his hat or something.
yeah, he like puts Momo on this folded up leaf, puts it on the water, hits the water with a hammer, and then the leaf kind of like starts moving around, explodes. And then what the fuck is he holding in this next panel on 21? A
That's his
fucking
hammer.
lollipop? Oh, it's the, oh, okay,
That's his
okay.
hammer.
It's the hammer. I was like, what the fuck does a lollipop got to do with it, nigga?
Fat lollies, yo.
Yo, chill.
Oh shit! I'm thinking lollipop, yeah.
Yo, check this nigga's hard drive, G. No, I'm kidding.
Yo, chill.
But yeah. Okay, so it's not a lollipop, so never mind. The hammer.
Niggas,
Obviously it's a
nigga hit the
hammer.
candy store real quick, mid ritual, yo.
What's wrong with me, bro? Okay. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Like I wonder like what if this is just all 100% from the mind of Yukinobu Tatsu, or if this is like, based on some kind of actual spiritual ritual from history to some degree. Would be cool to know.
Yeah,
Because this seems like very specific. I feel like it has to be a reference to something. But if not, then Nobutatsu's just like really good at this spiritual culture
Hmm.
and his imagination on full display here. If this is all 100 from him.
I'm wondering like how deep this water is too, because like I guess it's inconsistent, but they may be moving her around. But at first, he sets the leaf thing down in the water, so it's like it feels like it's clearly a pool there or something. And then like when he hits the hammer, there's the explosion, and then it looks like his knees, like on the page with the fucking lollipop hammer, like it looks like his knees are in water, like
Yeah,
he's also like kneeling in the water, and then on the next page, like the people,
are
the
standing
girl,
on
like
top of
yeah,
water.
well, on not page, I'm sorry, the next panel, like
Oh
the
yeah.
one guy, his whole lower body is underwater. He's holding a towel, or a woman, and then there's a woman like on her knees, like reaching down,
Hmm.
and then so I guess I'm thinking that they're like reaching into the water and pulling Momo like up out of it,
Hmm.
like she's now submerged, and then like on the next page, yeah, they're standing on it, and it's like, okay, is
It
this
seems like
did
they
they
got
just
out of the pool and are setting her
and they're just
on the floor next
okay,
to
like a
the,
foot over,
yeah, like a foot over. Because
okay,
I wanted to say, like, when I first read it, I was like, yo, are these niggas using that fucking, chakra focusing technique that lets Sasuke run on top of water and shit? But
yeah,
I was like, nah, this has got to be them getting out of that tub and moving her over to, some kind of air or
yeah.
something like.
Yeah, I think for sure, like even if this is not Turbo Granny related, this person is definitely a woman because everyone else seems to be women, and it's like they're doing this ritual. Momo's naked. I don't see this being like a guy. I don't
Yeah.
know if it'd be appropriate for man, fucking restoring young girl body, and she's butt naked or whatever. They got her in a little towel, but I don't know. This just seems like an all women's kind of shrine thing. It reminds me of the Suzukiri shrine from the
Yeah.
Dragon Temple or whatever in
Hmm.
Ranger. That's what I thought when I first saw this.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's another one of them things. Just gotta wait and see what the hell happens next time. Because I was definitely just for a moment I was like, oh, okay, Momo's cooked. What's gonna happen? Like she's gonna get fucking eaten by a grasshopper or something? Nope, just random big Clockerfoot motherfuckers pulling up to
Clonker
save the day.
foot. Yeah, what's up
Yeah,
with
man.
these shoes, bruh?
Yeah, them Janks. Like you step on Momo, her whole life over.
Nah, God.
And so I'm guessing like the particles that were like showing, maybe that kind of led to where she were, or like they just got some other way of sensing her.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would assume it's some kind of spiritual energy action inside of their shared energy system or not a lot. But the pixie dust could also be as well for them. I
yeah,
don't think it's that crazy that they were able to find her and her exactly where she was, despite her being, tiny or non-existent or whatever. But the timing that they pull up, one that kind of has me crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, yeah, I want to know more about this like ritual because the guy's woman, whatever, they tell Momo to climb up on the leaf. So Momo isn't like sleep, but when this thing happens, Momo is like sleep, it looks like. So it's like, did they put her to sleep? Did she fall asleep in the time? Is she not sleeping? She's just, her eyes are just closed because there's water on her face. You know,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's probably small, stupid stuff that don't really matter. She'll probably wake up immediately, but just a random thought because they tell her to climb on, and then we see her at the end, and she looks asleep, arms hanging and shit, like she's being pulled out. Maybe she passed out.
Yeah.
I do want to know though, because they say you need not be worried. Matters have already concluded for your two friends, but Momo's got a lot of friends, and her grandma isn't her friend. So like, I wonder
They're talking about
who.
Kinta and Okarun.
Maybe because I mean, she was just with Gigi and Vamola, but Vamola wasn't injured, and Gigi was chilling too, and he took Grandma to the hospital. But like,
Yeah.
Okarun and them are like not nearby. They're in a whole other prefecture or whatever, like a whole
Yeah.
other region because
Is she
these
talking
guys went on
about?
plane. Yeah, it's like two friends. Momo's got like six friends.
Yeah. Interesting.
um,
I didn't really think about that.
Yeah. And I want to also point out that Kenta made it into the fucking I miss my friends image. So shout out to Big Kenta, man.
Yeah, moving on up.
Yeah, he's included in the bestie crew. So I fuck with that.
Inner
We
circle
don't
shit.
have um Zuma's not here, so he's not bestie yet. He's just a delinquent. And then Lord of Flies girl isn't here, but they'll get here eventually.
Hmm.
But Turbo Granny's there though, so she misses Turbo Granny. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. This is a good chapter for what we got. Just very confused, and I
I
mean
think we're supposed to
Yukinobu
be.
will, yeah, he'll make it work because
Yeah, for
like
sure.
part of me is like this is an ass pull, and I feel like a lot of people probably said that, but it's like it'll work, it'll happen. It's just if it is Turbo Granny related, hopefully we get to see more of like what she was doing, and it isn't an unfade situation where people had to have read the fucking omake to know that Turbo Granny was out doing research or whatever.
Yeah, if it does come out in the actual story, that Turbo Granny was involved here, I'm sure there will be some kind of, retroactive storytelling that kind of gives context to what Turbo Granny did to kind of accomplish this or whatever, so that reading the omake won't be necessary or whatever. But for those
Yeah,
who did, they'll be able to have pieced it together by now, kind of like the way that we are. That Turbo Granny had something to do with it before the story specifically explained it.
yeah. But
Yeah,
I think I'm good on Dandadan. What about you?
I think I'm good too.
Okay, that's gonna do it for Dandadan chapter 208 and 209. Now jumping into Shangri-La Frontier, chapter 235, the complete transfer of momentum via core targeting and attainment of flight via indirect kinetic energy. What a
Jesus
damn chapter
Christ.
title, man.
Yeah, dude. What the
Shit
fuck,
just
bro?
be it's a chapter reading the chapter title. Damn.
Right.
Like,
Reminds
but
me of
yeah.
like isekai series titles.
Yeah, fucking my first time being a toilet cleaner, I got transported into another world and now I'm a rich girl's footstool that fucking gets fed pudding for a living or some shit.
I
Like just
was a man who was a dog, who was a toaster, who was a 1998 Buick Lucerne, and I've been reincarnated in another world as a ranker destined for greatness. It's like, nigga, shut up. Start the fucking
yeah.
story.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't need to read this at all. I know how it starts and ends.
You're right. Like, you got the whole fucking synopsis in the title. Like, we don't need that.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck. But Shangri-La Frontier, I mean, I guess it is based on a web novel, and I think web now, yeah, obviously web novel bros fuck with it, but they be having them titles. So yeah, jumping into Shangri-La Frontier, I guess this kind of puts to bed some theories that we had before. I don't remember who said it, thinking that maybe Kyokoku was having trouble with the VR version of her grandpa in that game, and we see that that is not the case. She
She hasn't
actually
even
dumps on
got
it.
there.
No, wait, I thought she's like shitting on him, right?
No, that's the final like boss of the game. Like, but Sunraku is fighting, Fugaku Ryuguin's uh like AI VR like clone in the game, which is like a hidden level after you beat the game. And that's like the
Okay.
whole point of this initial scene is that Yogoku is like, Grandpa, why the fuck did you give me this game when the final boss is such a bitch? You told me I was like the tightest swordsman ever.
Okay.
So like why would you give me this game? So she doesn't even know that
So
her
it's
grandpa is the hidden
it
final
is.
boss of the game. Yeah.
Okay, it is still on. I misunderstood and I thought that she was fighting her grandpa and won and was like beating his ass and was like this isn't even close to like how grandpa was because it wasn't like properly mimicking his skills and she was just kind of shitting on her grandpa and then I saw that and saw Sun Raku losing so I was like okay, it's a flip from what we thought where Sun Raku would win and she would lose, but she hasn't even gotten to that stage.
Right,
Okay.
because you can see on page 2 when she
Yeah.
hits the final boss, he's in like full kendo gear. But then when Sunraku is fighting Fugaku Ryugu, he looks, like the nigga on the drawing of the cover of you know, of the video game. Like he's not in any of that gear. It's just him in a gi, with the sword. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so yeah, that is definitely different. Hold on, so wait, yeah, this Sanraku, yeah, for sure. Okay, so I had to go back. I'm pretty sure it was like a code that he had to input in then because I don't know. It's interesting because she gets to this, she beats this final stage, AI master or whatever, and it's like in the game, yes or no. But I feel like, I mean, I guess the no could be like replaying the stage, but like when it's the end, I don't why even have a choice? Like the game is over. So it's like to me, having a choice to end the game in the first place would tell me that there's more to the game. But it could just be, you play Mortal Kombat, you beat the 10 stages, and then you start over with the next character, whatever. So it
Right.
could it could be nothing to do with that, and I'm just looking into it. And
But this goes into what we were talking about how Kyogoku's going to have like a newfound obsession with Sunraku when
yeah,
she finds out that Sunraku is dealing with, you know, her grandfather in this game that she didn't even know was a hidden level. You know what I mean? Like they're about to have like all new interactions, and it'll probably tie into, like I was saying, however many reviews ago in Shangri-La Frontier, like the Satan skill book that Sunraku has like lines up a lot better with Kyogoku's class and fighting style in Shangri-La Frontier than it ever did for Sunraku as a rogue class that uses, daggers and whatnot. Like she
hmm
is a, Itoryu swordsman, a single sword style, swordsman, just like fucking Wazaimon was. You know what I mean? So like I can just see the future storytelling now where Kyogoku's like, how do you get to the hidden level? Are you fighting my fucking granddad? Like, give me the Satan skill book. Like, I could just see all of that unraveling eventually, and I'm like so excited for that right now. If that's the case,
yeah, like I completely misread this chapter, and now it just makes me wonder like why she didn't. Maybe she'll get there, but like this is kind of telling me that she is just unaware at all, like completely unaware of the fact that her grandfather is in the game. But then Sanraku says like he's struggling against her grandfather, so it's like some dots are not being connected here.
yeah, it makes me
Is
want to. It makes me want to go back to whatever chapter that was to like just see the scene again where Sunraku is talking about playing this game and Kyogoku reacts to it. Like, does he actually say Fugaku Ryuguin's name in Shangri-La
yeah,
Frontier, and that's what Kyogoku is reacting to, or is she,
yeah.
or does he just say the name of the game that they're playing? And she's like, "Oh, I'm playing that game too. What the fuck do you know about that shit?"
It was 2 chapters ago,
It was
page three.
233.
Yeah, 233, page 3. He says, "I gotta beat old man Fugaku," and then her ear kind of perks up. So she definitely heard the name, but like maybe she's thinking that he means like the game. Like I gotta beat the game, the old man Fugaku or
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
Like
because
just
Fugaku's name is on the front of the game box, right? Like
yeah,
it's a part of the name of the game. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she wouldn't be able
yeah,
to piece together that. Well, yeah,
yeah. It's special advisor Fugaku Ryoguin VR Kendo School Ultimate. So it's like maybe instead of calling it Super Smash Bros Ultimate, he's just calling it Smash or whatever.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of what's happening. He's just calling it Fugaku.
yeah, yeah. But he said I gotta beat old man Fugaku. So either way, like the next time their characters interact in Shangri-La Frontier directly, I bet you Kyogoku is going to directly ask him what he knows about this game. Has he beaten it? Et cetera, and then she'll get all the information that she needs from that next interaction with Sunraku,
Yeah. Hmm. Okay.
which
Yeah,
is
it's
going to
interesting.
create an insane dynamic between the two of them. Because
Yeah.
yeah, especially with the new information that Sunraku has about the Saiga family and their relation to the Ryuguin family, and
Hmm.
like bro, like what's cooking in the background behind all of this Dragon War shit and this like Rabatuza defense situation and the clan wars, like somehow I am slightly more interested in this subplot line than anything else going on in the overarching Shangri-La Frontier story. And that's just like so crazy that Katarina and Ryosuke Fuji are able to generate hype for a subplot like this
Yeah.
for me in Shangri-La Frontier with so much else going on in the foreground.
When I see stuff like this, it makes me I'm just kind of begging for a scene where like Sunraku and Kyogoku are like teamed up, like 2v, whatever, and they're just like back to back and stanced up, looking cool as fuck. But like the way this story is set up, that could happen with anybody. So it would like those aren't the. I mean, those two are really good at games, but like they are the only two who would be incredible at PvP. Like Pencil God is a known, fucking player killer.
Yeah.
Fucking Saiger Zero, nobody wants to fight Saiger Zero. Fucking Katso, like any two people could just go toe to toe. Like the Wolfgang clan is so stacked that I can't see them losing a 1v1.
Yeah,
What do
no,
you
for
think?
real. Yeah. Oh
Like
my
it's just
god, and then wait, this last page where fucking Sunraku's like, I'm about to hop in this other game real quick. Kyogoku
Yeah.
definitely plays Sujigiri Capriccio, right? Like is
Oh
there
man,
is
that'd be
yeah,
fire.
is there a possibility that they run into each other in this game?
So so I was wondering about that because like I wonder if like how much gaming Kyogoku actually does because like if her life was kendo, like I don't remember, I'd have to go back and look, but I don't think there was ever anything that was kind of stated that like implied she did more gaming besides like just her grandpa gave her this game and like did she game before that? Was she a gamer or like was she so obsessed with the whole like becoming a master and following in her grandfather's footsteps that she started gaming because of this and didn't she's been beating up on that final stage AI and kind of like was like, okay, game is kind of fun but like I want another, I want more challenge. And so she moved to games like Shangri-La Frontier, or was she always playing like Shangri-La Frontier? Because if because I'm wondering like if she, if she even owns any other games. Like you said she might be in this game, and some Raku might run into her. But I'm thinking VR, Kendo, and SLF might be the only game she even
Yeah,
has.
that's a good point. Yeah, she could have just been like a huge Kenjutsu kendo nerd and, racked up all of these trophies because, she's a part of the Ryuguin lineage and she's like, the predecessor to the Fugaku. And then as he's on his way out, he's like, "Yo, baby girl, take this video game and see what it's got for you." Then she takes her kendo knowledge into a game like VR Kendo School Ultimate, and then masters it, beats the game 1,500 times trying to find out why her grandpa left her a game like this. And then he's like, you know what? Like, now that I've been playing video games for a little bit, this was kind of fun. I'm about to go see what Shangri-La Frontier is talking about.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I could see it being something like that. And she's not like as much of a gamer for real as
Yeah.
but then also, how could she go back so far with a character like Pencilgon if she's not well versed in the world of gaming in the first place?
So I can see it being a case where, because she's related to Saiger, fucking Ray and Saiger, Zero and 100 or whatever. So she's probably like been to their crib for like a family reunion, saw them playing a game or whatever. It was like, okay, let me check that out, and then they probably partied or something. I'm just creating fucking backstory
Mm-hmm.
for characters, but there's a way that she could have met with characters like Saiger in game and met Pentagon in game, and they probably all met up in person too.
True, because and then we have like in the Wazaimon arc stuff, they were talking about how Oikatsu and Pencilgon go way back across multiple video game
Yeah,
like franchises doing this PvP versus PvP shit, and like how they've kind of like butt heads and had their philosophies and video gaming ideologies kind of like clash historically from game to game. They would have definitely brought up Kyogoku then too, right? If she was really around like that. Because she's clearly on par with them in Shangri-La Frontier at the very least. So if she was really around in other games like that, I don't know why they would never have brought her up, right?
yeah, yeah. I don't think she was around, or like she might have just not been in any kind of circle where Kaza would have been. So she knows her family and she knows Pencilgon, but like
Yeah.
just because you know Pencilgon doesn't mean you know Kaza
Right. It just
because
makes
she's
me want
just
to go.
meeting.
It just makes me want to go back and like reread Yogoku's introduction and like all of the interactions she has with Wolfgang from then to now. Just if there is any kind of you know gaming history kind of like mentioned because I feel like I'm missing something for some reason.
Yeah. I feel like it's just we haven't gotten all of the information yet, but if she does have this game, that'd be cool for her to bump into Sunraku and his name be like Sunraku or some variation that immediately like triggers it. And she's like, "Yo, Sunraku," and he's like, "Who the hell are you?" It's like, bro, like, what the hell? It's like I'm the homie. Yo, we got don't you got a raid to do tonight?
Right.
Some shit. Yeah, but um, bit of a spoiler, not an actual spoiler, but I last week I was the Shangri-La Frontier chapter didn't hit Weeb Central on Tuesday like it normally does. It didn't hit that until like Wednesday. So
Oh.
like I was looking, or maybe yeah, it comes out on Tuesdays, and so I was looking. It's usually out on like Weeb Central by the time I get off, so like 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern. And so I'm looking, and I'm like, oh damn, no Shangri-La Frontier chapter, huh? And then I go to the Reddit and somebody posted the chapter link, and I was like, oh, okay, so it is out. It was on like excuse me, comic or something, but I didn't want to read it on that. I was gonna wait. But like before that, like I scrolled down and I saw somebody they made a comment and was like people who didn't like it was something along the lines of people who didn't like the aspect of Shangri-La Frontier where the main character steps into other games and plays other games other than Shangri-La Frontier are about to have their minds changed with this next game. And it was this picture of Sunraku holding this Sujigiri Capriccio game. And I was like, oh no.
What?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Like, I kind of like looked away real quick because I saw the
Uh,
caption and I didn't think anything about it. I looked down and I was like, oh, Saraku's holding a different game I've never seen. Let me go. Let me move away. I didn't click on it, but I was just like, never seen this game, and somebody talking big shit. So I'm thinking
so
it's gonna be
wait a minute.
another.
So if Nephilim Hollow didn't do it for you, and Galaxia Heroes Online didn't do it for you, they're saying Suji Giri Capriccio is?
They're saying that this is supposed to do it for you. I
That's
don't know.
insane because the Galaxia Heroes arc was like major.
Yeah,
Like that was a
yeah.
big deal. Like we spent a lot of time there. Like it was a whole arc inside of the Katarnade raid arc. Like
Let me see if I can find it
no
now.
fucking
Since
way. Oh no, I'm so much more excited now for Sujigiri Capriccio because
yeah,
what?
yeah. I'm trying to avoid to those who hates when Shenraku plays non SLF games. Yep. Uh, you're gonna have a totally different view once this masterpiece comes in the next chapter. That's
Oh
crazy.
my god, bro.
Yo,
You have got
this
to be kidding me right now,
bro,
bro.
it's about to be Kagurabachi. Yo.
Okay.
That's that's a big praise because like you said, the other games were dope, bro. Like what?
Yeah, especially
Galaxia
Galaxia
Heroes?
Heroes. Like, I don't know who could not like an arc like Galaxia Heroes, but like, I've always been a fan of Sunraku hopping out of Shangri-La Frontier to go play other games, all the way back to like Berserk Online Passion. Like, he spent like, I don't know, a chapter and a half in that shit, and I was still like, yeah, give me more, give me more. And then we got Nephilim Hollow, and then we got Galaxia Heroes, and I'm like, these niggas can do no wrong. Every time this nigga
Yeah.
jumps out the game and goes into something else, I'm seated. Like, this shit is
Yeah,
fucking
for real.
gas every time. And you're telling me that this is the tightest one yet? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because like
Okay.
there have been some short ones. Like he played the like third person shooter for like 2 panels and like
Yeah.
logged out.
Even
It's
the one that
like
was talking about how it can, replicate real life pain
yeah, I
or
think that was the
whatever.
shooter one.
Oh
That
yeah,
one was
yeah,
really short. Like that was it
yeah,
was like a survival game or something.
yeah. Even that, I was like, more,
Yeah,
please. Like,
yeah.
so, oh nah.
I'm hoping that like because I didn't read any more. I didn't want to get spoiled, but I'm hoping that they weren't like just being silly and it was like you're gonna love this and it's actually like nothing at all like it's shit or just doesn't
No,
happen.
don't say that. I'm already hyped,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I'm hyped though because I was like, bro, what? Like, nigga, to the people who didn't like the fucking outer game stuff, you're gonna your body's gonna be changed. Like they called it a masterpiece. So yeah,
Masterpiece.
big hype because like
Okay.
calling the next game a masterpiece after Galaxia, like nigga, what was that?
Right. What was that?
Yeah, what
I need to know how
was
that falls on the rankings of.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
bro telling me that's just a cool 6, like 7.5
And
compared
this
to
is the
this.
9,
Yeah.
9.5. Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, we got swolium nuts over here, man.
I know you were so mad when he went back to the Crystal Scorpions this chapter, though.
Bruh, I
As
was like,
soon
come
as
on,
I
dog.
turned the page into that, I was like, yeah, Yato is sick right now.
Yeah, because I do not like it. I just it's hard to follow it for real. And then I
Yeah,
just don't think the Crystal Scorpions are interesting. And it's like, I guess the shading is a little different. Yeah, the shading is a lot different with like between the
yeah,
gold one and the other ones because the
yeah.
gold one is like black
Yeah, I
or
think that
whatever.
there's some really interesting ideas presented in this return to the Crystal Scorpion like area, right?
Yeah,
Because he uses Levin Hazard here to kind of mimic the reaction time that will be necessary to defeat Ugaku in, the Kendo VR Ultimate video game. But then also the idea that he can like um rapidly mine materials using Levin Hazard. So like ultimately like his takeaway here is like just getting better with Levin Hazard at base, which
yeah,
was always like something that he was working on because of how volatile an ability and an item that kind of is, considering its effect on your HP and like how hard it is to kind of like steer it, in the VR space that Shangri-La Frontier takes place in and whatnot. Like those were like big disadvantages that he's been trying to overcome since he acquired the item. So just any kind of experience that he gets with Levin Hazard is hype because that's going to make, his future conflicts where he uses it that much more intense. Um,
Yeah,
and he needs that. But just the idea that he can use Levin Hazard, like increase his mining speed, I feel like is going to be
yeah,
wildly relevant. But one
that's
one
huge.
yeah, one question that I had though about it is like, okay, so he hypermines all of this stuff, accelerating the entire mining process. Like I'm like a human jackhammer. I'm like a human jackhammer right now. I'm asking a small fortune in materials, but then he dies. But
Yeah.
then when he dies, he still has all of the shit. I thought you didn't get the shit when you die.
I'm guessing he did grab it. Um, I don't know. Let me
But
see.
that was like
Human
a
jackhammer.
thing in the previous Crystal Scorpion storytelling. I want to say is that like he was trying to gather all of these minerals and all of this loot, at the Crystal Scorpion thing, so that he could bring it back to Rabatuza and have Irak or Bash kind of crafted into some shit. But then he kept dying before he had a chance to get all of the materials back to Rabatuza
Maybe because he was doing it at lightning speed, he was like mining and looting like while mining.
and
So it's
putting it
kind of
in
like
Inventoria real quick before
yeah,
like
like
going
all
back.
in one motion.
But then like
Yeah.
why wouldn't there be like storytelling dedicated to him taking all of that stuff and putting it in Inventoria before his death? Because
Yeah,
it
it's
just seems it just seems kind of contradictory to previous storytelling that we had, unless I just don't remember the storytelling as well as I think that I do. But
yeah. I mean, because we see him like doing all his like hammer motions, but we don't ever see like loot hitting the ground and stuff. So
right,
I'm just kind of assuming that he just as he hit it, he was scooping it up too. But yeah, there's no page or panel dedicated to showing him retrieving any of this loot.
yeah,
Can't do anything in midair. Yeah. Look at this pile of rare materials I picked up, minerals I picked up, at least 20. Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. That is weird. Weird thing to skip out on, to not show him like at least putting some in his pocket or something.
yeah. I
Very
don't know.
interesting. And I do like the application for the mining and stuff, because it reminds me of like World of Warcraft, because in WoW, when you go to like pick up an item, like you go to loot like an herb or an ore or like open a chest, it always takes, I think the timer is like 1.5 seconds. And there's ways to like speed up like your cast bars and movement speed and stuff. There's an ability called like Bloodlust that like speeds up your cast time and stuff by like 40%, but it doesn't work on like opening stuff. I remember because actually this week I was doing something where and in the open zones and WoW, there's every 20 minutes a chest will fall, like a helicopter will drop a drop pod or whatever, and it's contested, so it's PvP, and like people form raids to go and grab these, and like if you get hit while you're looting it, it stops the looting process, so you have to like redo it. So like there's PvP going, you're trying to open this box, and people keep hitting you, so it's like you gotta wipe out the enemies before you can loot it. And this week somebody popped like bloodlust while we were trying to loot it, and somebody made a comment. They were like, "Lol, bloodlust," while looting the chest, because like bloodlust speeds up your cast time, but it doesn't affect opening chests. So it was
Right,
just like a funny thing to have happen. But like in Shangri-La Frontier, he could actually like speed up his mining and shit. So it's like normally it would take you a second and a half to loot this ore. He's fucking doing it, 100 times in a second,
right.
and he'll be able to get a lot of stuff, with that, not just combat, but a lot more, gathering, and just I feel like at some point it's just going to kind of become normal. Like he won't even play like without using Levin Hazard. He'll just be a speedster rogue now. He'll just be super fast and always be using it.
Hell yeah. And oh man, speaking of IRL MMORPG,
Mm.
Ashes of Creation, if you've been following the development of that game recently, just a couple months ago, I want to say. It's been a while since I've looked in because it kind of like fell off because it's taken forever for that game to fucking come out. But they just did the Rogue ability showcase
Okay,
in Ashes of, looks really good.
I'll have to peep that.
I think you can actually just
Ashes
like,
of
I think we're in
Creation.
like alpha 2 now. I think that we can just be playing that game if we want to right now.
Oh, let me see. Ashes of Creation Alpha 2.
Yeah, and I've been talking about like the similarities between Shangri-La Frontier and Ashes of Creation pretty much like shit all the way back in like the fucking Project Manga days. Shangri-La Frontier back when there was only like fucking 50 chapters of this shit out. Um, but yeah, there's like a very similar like PvP flagging system, and in between Shangri-La Frontier and Ashes of Creation that made me think that Ashes of Creation had like taken ideas from Shangri-La Frontier specifically and implemented it into the game. Like made me so excited for the game that much more when I started like noticing those similarities and how kind of people and player killing, kind of go down in Ashes of Creation. Literally like word for word, bar for bar, how they explained it in Shangri-La. Like,
I'm on their site. It looks like the Alpha 2 started in May. I guess it's still going, but it looks like you got to pay $100 to get in.
oh, what?
Unless I'm missing something. I see $100 Alpha 2 third wave bundle, and it says in addition to providing access, these bundles also grants subsequent Alpha 2 test phases, Beta 1 test phase, future Beta 2 test phase, a month of game time, $15 in game marketplace credits, no pay to win. I don't know if this is how you get access or if this is just a bundle and you can just play for free and this is extra stuff. But
Okay.
there's a register option on here. I don't know. I'll look more
We'll
into
have
it
to look
later.
into that later. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
$100 just to play is crazy. You got me fucked up.
Yeah.
I'll just wait for the beta at that point.
Yeah, for real. $100 for an alpha is nuts.
Yeah, what
Who
the
y'all think
hell?
y'all is?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Shangri-La Frontier chapter was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely am
Next
looking
one's about
forward
to
to it
be
more.
fucking crazy, apparently.
Yeah, yeah, we about to enter fucking Shangri-La Bachi. Yeah,
Shangri-La Bachi, bro.
Kagura Frontier. It's about to get crazy.
Kagurabachi.
Yeah, yeah. So Kagura-La, it's crazy. Yeah, this
Kagurabachi, dog.
yeah, this is about to go money bags. Yeah, hopefully. I ain't even gotta say it, man. Shangri-La be cooking.
Bro, I need it. Like, okay, so when's the next Shangri-La chapter come out? Tomorrow, right?
Should be tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So if you're listening to this right now, you already know, baby. Like
Yo.
episodes out, chapters out, fucking dicks out for Harambe. You know what it is. I already know what the fuck time it is. Yeah.
Yo, I'm so excited, bro. What the fuck?
Yep. Shame that Weeb and Traffy couldn't be here for this monumentous occasion, to talk about the glory of the next arc.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, man, because like we were hyping up fucking Galaxy Heroes, and I was saying that I would pay like any amount of money to be able to pay that. If this gonna be better, we in there, baby. Come on.
Bro.
And you just see it's just a vagabond ass nigga on the cover,
Right.
Like what are we signing up for, bro?
Bro, Galaxia Heroes like conceptually already like spoke to me like on that level because like I'm really into superhero, supervillain like shit anyway as like a fucking long time Western comic book reader. So that was already like scratching certain itches for me conceptually in that way. But I'm also like a really big like samurai sword, samurai like lone wolf and cub fucking Blade of the Immortal like super fan as well. So like, dude, Katarina and Ryosuke Fuji just like it feels like they're like reaching into my fucking brain, bro, and like making content specifically for me. So
and Sunraku says he's going to play this game so that he can like better mimic Fugaku's like movements and stuff. Like he can't do that in the kendo game himself. He's got to go and get like settled in and fucking really fool with it on this game. So this just about to be very hype, and it's almost to the point like I still wouldn't do it, but Shangri-La Frontier's like side arcs almost kind of work as like separate, like their own thing. Like I feel like I could just go tell somebody go read Galaxy Heroes and that just be it, and they just like vibe with it because it's so good.
Right.
And so like if we about to just get a samurai story, I'm about to just be like, yeah, go read chapters 235 through fucking 245 of Shangri-La Frontier for your fucking samurai fix, whatever the
Right.
fuck we about to be in.
Yeah.
Sushigiri Capricia, online,
Oh.
Sugiri Cat. Wonder what they're gonna abbreviate it to.
Yeah, I'm so ready. Sugi Cat.
Yeah, Suji Cap, something. I don't know. Yeah, the hype is there. So yeah, I think I'm spent for this one. You got anything else?
Oh no, I'm squeezed out, G.
All right, that's it. That's going to do it for Shangri-La Frontier, Chapter 235, the complete transfer of momentum via core targeting and attainment of flight via indirect kinetic energy. See
Yeah,
y'all.
Jesus.
Now jumping into Ranger Reject Chapter 189, Firefly. And it's crazy because I kind of forgot this chapter came out and I was definitely about to jump straight into fucking Ichi the Witch or whatever, but Nox caught me, thank God, because banger chapter, man. Negi Haruba not pulling back. He tugged on them heartstrings,
Yes.
and this is a phenomenal chapter. One of my favorite characters. You know, I'll do the weep thing. One of my favorite characters, man. Just I've loved. You know, it actually feels disrespectful now to call them the fusion. So Choco Bull and Keiko Cobb. And something I want to talk about or just mention is the entire time since these characters have been introduced, I've always just wanted like a name for the fusion and not to call them the fusion. And I always refer to them as the fusion. You know, when talking specifically about them and you know their abilities and their personalities outside of the fusion, I would mention their names and stuff. But whenever the fusion character was on screen, I was like, I want to know. You know, I can't wait for them to give the fusion a name. But that kind of goes against the story because
Yeah.
they're invaders, they're executives, and they're individuals. And even though they came together as one, they still kept on to their individuality. Every one of these characters are trying to find out who they are and where they belong in this world. And
Yeah.
in other stories, you know, you get a fusion, like in a Seven Deadly Sins or something, like two demons will fuse, and you know they'll go from being Bob and Dirk to fucking Wugabulagablon or whatever. And it's like that doesn't happen here. They still remain themselves. They converse inside, you know, the
As if they're
fusion and
individuals, yeah.
yeah, they never let that go. They never said you can call me fucking Choco Cobb or whatever. Like they
Choco
never.
Cobb,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like
they
just because of
always
their like romantic dynamic, like, I'm down to give them a fusion name that's on par with like any other, you
kind
know,
of like a shipping thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
like a shipping like couple name, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm
yeah,
down to call them like Kisuna or Runisu or some shit, like,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, cause they're
I
just
think
like
the fan,
so, yeah,
I think the fandom did call him like Kisuna or something. I think you're onto something. I never like, I didn't pay attention to it, but I think that is a thing. But like, I'm just
okay,
surprised that they were never given a name. Like, no one ever addressed them as like dude man or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And but you know, it fits. They aren't one. They come together as one, but they are still who they are.
yeah,
And I like that. This was a good ending for them. Nice romantic, heartfelt. I was sad, man. I was like, damn, like
right,
they went out like a G. They fucking threw hands every
yeah.
time they needed to, but like
And that is
at
one
the end they
thing that
were
I
lovers.
love about Negi Haruba's storytelling whenever it's focused on in a story like Ranger Reject. It is very like existentialist, like in nature, as far as, trying to find out what you're doing here, what your role is, like why you were made, like what your purpose is, type shit. Like I always love storytelling like that on a character level in any story. And Negi
Yeah,
Haruba is like really, really good about that in Ranger Reject, considering how everything kind of conceptually, especially now that we've gotten the Yellow Keeper Shinya backstory lore on how invaders and whatnot kind of came to be in the first place. All of that kind of existentialist storytelling, hits that much harder, knowing
yeah.
the circumstances for their creation in the first place. So everything is on point in that regard. I'm glad that you're here to talk to me about this. I was going to ask you or Traffy. I don't remember like why Kisu and Ruto were dying in the first place. Like,
So
did they take some kind of damage that I don't remember, and they're like on borrowed time? Is it like a timer thing? I don't know, like why
yeah,
they're dying.
Kisu was tied up with Yellow when Green had like fucking uh they when D went to meet with the Neos and then they put him in the like Magatia space using Juji's ability or whatever. Kisu was like out, like he was coming from like 7-Eleven or something. He had a Slurpee and then like he got bonked over the head and kidnapped by some Kuroko guys and they were
Mm,
like working for Green and so Shidori took him and Shinya and had them as like the sacrifices. Like if you guys don't beat me and defeat all the executives by this time o'clock where I'm gonna kill both of these guys. And Runa was trying to save him, and she was remember I forget her name, Benny, the girl, the red. She was in Red Battalion. Her brother was the bald guy, Benny. I forget his first name, but he died in the zoo. He was
That's
the
right.
bald. Yeah. So and then she had a grudge on like Peltrola and stuff, and she was one of the Neos, but she betrayed Runa. So like she was helping. She pretended to help Runa. She was like, "I'll help you go get Kisu," and then like when Runa turned her back, she sliced her up,
Oh
and and
yeah.
that's what
Oh
caused
wait,
Kisu to snap.
that was the X like slash in her
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so that basically like put her on, death's door, and Kisu snapped after that, and he like fused, he like forced the fusion, and he's basically been operating with like half capacity because Runa's been like half sleep during this whole thing
Bleeding
because
out basically
she's
inside of
like
the
dying.
fusion. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh, okay. So then how does he die when she dies? Because they're like one entity, and when one dies,
yeah.
the other one does.
Well, because he just fucking goes out to space like I'm gonna die with you type shit.
Oh, so wait, that's actually him in space. That wasn't just like an artistic thing.
Yeah, yeah, no, they portaled to space using because her ability was the portal and his was the hypnosis, but
Oh,
like
I thought of
he,
one last place I wanna go.
yeah, and so since they're a fusion, he has access to the ability, so he's just teleported them to outer space where they can see all of the fireflies they ever, you
Oh,
know,
the stars are the fire. Oh
man,
shit, dude.
fucking peak, man.
Yo, Negi Hot, dude. I appreciate this chapter so much more now. Thank you so much. It was already really good for me, and it reminded me of Hunter x Hunter because
Not this, not again.
no, it reminded me because it reminded me of the King and Kamugi
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
end
yeah,
of the Chimera Antarc. Just the way that like them talking to each other, and like until they both died kind of situation. It just was giving that for me. So I was like, damn, bro, this is like kind of on that level of heartrending to see these two characters as a couple kind of like go out together. It just reminded me of
yeah,
that. Um, but what I think the hardest hitting aspect of this chapter on a writing level is Hisui's kind of internal conflict with the entire situation,
yeah,
and how she's kind of living with this idea that her sworn enemies are showing this level of love for each other and compassion and will to live and be with each other until their final moments, like right in front of her as she's like supposed to be defeating them. You know what I mean? And it obviously, you know, speaks to that aspect of her that is still human. Obviously she's a human, but just inside of Hisui's character throughout the series, we've seen a very like voracious, like animalistic, like
yeah,
bloodlusted, will do anything to achieve her goals of defeating her enemy that she's sworn revenge against kind of aspect to her character that kind of like separates her from humanity to a certain degree when it comes to this goal, and then them kind of taking her out of that for a minute, so that she can be like, holy shit, man, these things are sentient just like me. They have feelings just like me. I hate to see that because I'm supposed to be murdering you, but I'm gonna let y'all cook because you're on borrowed time anyway. If I ever see you again, I'll rip your throat out. It's like, okay, you have to say things like that. But then
yeah,
internally, she's like really broken up about the fact that her sworn enemies are displaying this level of humanity in front of her. Whereas, a lot of her character's motivation probably stems from the idea that these things are completely separate from humanity in all of these ways that have brought a lot of pain and suffering to her people, and so that probably helps justify her ability to just mercilessly slaughter them up until this point. But in these last couple of arcs, she's starting to see more and more, especially with D involved and Usakubo and all of this stuff just kind of weighing on her, because she started, the Rangers. She got in there when she was like 8 or 9 or some kind of shit.
yeah.
She was like some kind of like prodigy. So
Hmm.
like for the vast, overwhelming majority of her tenure with the Rangers, she has not had to deal with this when it comes to fighting them. And then now in these like last couple of arcs, like she's like, God fucking damn it, man, you guys need to stop being so human in front of me because I need to murder you, man. So it's just
Yeah,
like really cool seeing her kind of come to terms with all of this and kind of deal with it. It's like very well represented in the writing and in the art. Megihara is is firing on all cylinders in this regard. It's very philosophical. It's very romantic. It's very existential. It's just doing a lot of things at once very well.
Yeah, doing a lot of things for a lot of characters, like Hisui getting characterization and the fusion of these two. Like this is big, and like they didn't have to, they could have just run. Like they took her vision away. They could
Yeah.
have just ran, and like they even revealed that like one, Runa is dying. Like this, like I'm dying. Please, just I'll take on his sins. Please, just let us go. And it's like she could have just murdered him at that moment, and they showed weakness and saying like we're basically dead, even though you didn't. Like they look clean. Like they don't have a scratch on them. I don't remember if Hisui like really did any damage to them, but they like. Yeah, I guess she stabbed him like in the neck or something, but they
No,
look clean
they
compared to
blocked that
her.
shit, I think, because
Is it?
on page
Yeah.
5 she goes to the
Yeah.
neck with the needle, and then you see an
Yeah.
explosion, but then you also see,
The hand.
Kisuna kind of like you have the smoke coming off of the hand where he blocked it.
Yeah. So they pretty fresh, but they still, it's like we clean, but like I'm actually hurting like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and what really got me, dog, like on page fucking 6 and 7,
Right.
where he's like, "Don't fall asleep, wake up, Runa, sleep not, sleep not." It's like that's not
Yeah.
even your power, nigga. Like you don't have a sleep not move, nigga. You're just saying that
Well,
shit, or does he? Oh,
that
because
that is his.
it's all about
Yeah, the
hypnosis. Oh,
hypnosis.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
So it's trying to like because he
okay.
normally will tell them to go to sleep or like
Oh,
see
okay,
not.
okay.
Like that's how he took Hisui's vision by saying see not or
Yeah,
whatever.
but see, like normally when it's like see not, hear not, speak not, like that goes into like conceptually like what like an aspect of your power like can be. Like we've seen that
Yeah,
before,
yeah,
like in other things. But sleep not is like a little bit too specific and kind of like outside of the realm of like what verbal command powers like can typically do. I didn't know it was all encompassing like that, where like any command that he gives you verbally, like you have to do it regard like, and there's no limit to it. I didn't know it was like that.
I
So
think just in this case it doesn't. Like he is probably hoping that it does, not knowing that it won't. But like
yeah,
it just doesn't work like that. But also, I
yeah.
mean, she's dying, so
I
either
was
way,
sitting there going like, bro, you're that sad, like you're that desperate that you trying to like make up new moves that you don't like have in your kit to like get your girlfriend to like not pass out. Like it made me feel so much worse for them in the moment, but now I have a little bit more context for like how the hypnosis ability kind of works. So it's like less sad, but like in the moment I
I
was just
mean,
like,
no, it's
nigga, you do
still
not have a sleep not attack. Like, bro, don't make me cry right now.
it's still a struggle. I was feeling it. Like he's just please don't fall asleep because
Yeah.
like if you do, it's over.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, this is nuts. And he's like yelling and screaming, crying,
Throwing
fucking
up.
spitting. Yeah, like and then he knows, bro. He's like we created humans like her. Like at first he's like, how can she? Because he sees that she's still standing. Like even though they threw her across the fucking building, and she's still there. She
Stabbed her
does
in the
not.
jugular.
Yeah,
Or
she
no,
don't
no, no, no.
stop.
They didn't stab her in the
Yeah,
jugular.
she stabbed
Yeah,
herself. Yeah,
they sealed her mouth so she couldn't speak, and then fucking rocked her in the gut so that the internal bleeding would fucking asphyxiate her, and she stabbed herself in the neck to drain the bleeding from her throat so that she could breathe again. And
yeah,
it's like, yo, how are you still? And it's like, oh, I get it. It's because of people like us that radicalized you to have this level of tenacity and perseverance to get through a situation like this because you just want revenge on us that bad because we've been so shitty historically. We
yeah.
made Hisui. So it makes sense now. Like she's like that because of us. And that was just so well done too. Like, dude, this arc, bro, I swear to God, like this is gonna be one of the best rereads of my entire career reading manga.
Yeah.
I swear to God. Like there are so many things that will get lost on a first time reading through for I want to say 95% of people. There's always going to be like that like 1 to 5% of people that are like I don't need to reread anything. I absorb everything perfectly and my
Yeah.
retention is 100% at all times no matter what's going on. And it's like fine, cool, good for you. But for the vast majority of people, like this is something that I genuinely believe needs to be read at least twice
Yeah.
for you to have the level of appreciation for what Egi Haruba has been able to accomplish throughout this comics run. It's just so dense with so much shit character wise and plot wise and world building wise and lore wise that it's just like, man, go through it one more time, please.
Yeah. You would appreciate it so much more.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see like that he had this in the bag. It just makes you wonder like what other mangaka could do, because he had a rom com. It was a fucking like 5 girl harem rom com series, and
Yeah,
it's like he went from that to this. So it's like
yeah,
you might be hating on something that's in a magazine right now for being stupid gag trash, and then they come back with some shit like this. And it's like, where was this
yeah.
guy at
If there's
5 years
ever
ago?
if there's ever an example of why one work from a specific author or creative team isn't enough for you to have any issue with a next work that they could come out with, like this is it. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah,
because you didn't like the first thing that a mangaka did doesn't mean any of those issues that you had with that series have to be present in their follow-up works, because this is just like so diametrically opposed to quintessential quintuplets in
yeah,
pretty much like every way. Like I didn't read that shit, but like from what I've heard of people who did, like this is like starkly different in pretty much every area of storytelling, writing, and art wise. That like
yeah.
this is a prime example of why you shouldn't base your entire opinion on a mangaka for any future work that they can come out with based on something that they did in the past. Because
Yeah, because you see it all the time. People are
yeah,
like, "Nah, this nigga back." Like, nope, terrorism return. Like, we don't want it. And it's
yeah.
like, bro, they could be writing gold. Like,
Yeah, but then when you have a nigga like Ken Wakui, for example, who fumbled twice in a row to a certain degree, that
yeah,
that kind of gives you less hope. But it like here's an example of how it doesn't need to be that way all the time.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Nick, he was definitely cooking with this. This is good stuff. And like, man, I've loved these characters for so long, and
yeah,
now knowing that they're not gonna be in the picture, and like they went out on their own terms. I mean, Runa was wounded, but like they still put up a good fight, and it was best girl Hisui versus like coolest invader character, Chocobo and Yakeiko. And it's like, man, you put those characters in a fight, and it's like it hurts, because it's like watching your two favorite characters fight. It's like, man, I don't know who I want to win, because I can't deal with like seeing Hisui die, but I don't want her to kill this cool executive. And like this
right.
this works. It's like Hisui, she doesn't die, but she
But at the
gets
same
she gets
time, like
badass moments.
look at this last panel of the chapter though. Like look at my daughter's face, my nigga. Like, are you
Yeah,
good? Like you look sick. Like you look like you look like you're
yeah.
done like moments from now anyway. Like I wonder why after, they show them in space dying, Yakeiko Cobb and Chocobo, like why the very last panel of the chapter is dedicated to Hisui looking like this. Like it makes me very worried for her.
I'm thinking she's looking up, but like
She can't
she
see
like
them niggas though.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm thinking too. It's
Yeah.
like it feels like she
Like
like
they
it'd be
bounced through
easy
a
to say.
portal. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like because they went to like a fucking river first, and then they went to space. So it's like she would have no idea. But I'm guessing this is just her, like, well,
Dying,
yeah, like,
nigga. Yeah, like it looks like
yo,
she's
chill.
like succumbing to her injuries right now, my nigga. Like I'm like,
It is
bro.
nuts that she still got this blade in her neck. Like, I guess if she
Right.
pulls it out, it gets worse. But
Yeah.
like, just the fact that she is still willing to fight so hard, and just standing, walking around, fighting, doing all this shit with a blade in her neck. Like, bro, go to the Pokemon Center. Like, do something.
Blink,
This
blink,
is
blink, boom, blink.
like you need help, man. Get some milk,
Yeah,
bro. This
for
is still a
real.
little girl.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
yeah. No, banger chapter. Flipping through, trying to see if there's anything else I had to say. I did think page 2. Negi didn't have that. Her hands look way too big here. I thought that these were like
Oh
her
yeah.
hands on that bottom panel look like
Look at
man
those
hands.
mitts.
Yeah, she got them smackers for real. Um,
Yeah, that is
but
an interesting anatomy decision there, especially because it's
yeah,
so close to the face too. So it's like this isn't like a
yeah,
matter of perspective or anything like that. Like we got the side by side. The hands don't need to be that big, my nigga.
yeah,
But
yeah. But no, seeing them, fucking warp out of there, and then walking down the beach or whatever, the coastline, and then they're not even getting to see fireflies because they're out of season. Sitting down, like this is just none of the other executives or invaders we saw this. Like it's just been them and D who we got like any kind of like characterization from, and I love what we got from them.
hmm
So yeah, that
or like
page seeing them.
humanization rather, right? Because it's like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, because like every all the
uh,
other fucking executives are just like on demon time and like don't really give a fuck. But Kisu and Runa and D and I mean I guess by extension Usakubo technically
Yeah.
even though she's like half and half. Like they're the ones that get all of like the really deep um, humanity writing. But
Hmm. Yeah. Man, that was a chapter. And that page with them floating out in space, I was like, damn, I was just stuck looking at that for a while.
yeah, that fucking double page spread, man. I was like, bruh. And
That shit
my
like a
goofy
album
ass, like
cover or something.
yeah, nah, for real. I'm just so mad that I thought that this was like an artistic flair to the
Yeah.
situation and not actually them in the vacuum of space.
Nah,
I'm
yeah,
very
they
mad at
fucking
myself for that.
they just cooked themselves, yeah. Just together until we die. Yeah. That was a banger.
It makes me think like, man, nigga, you could have been sending niggas into space, like in combat, nigga. What the fuck? Like,
But they were chilling, you know. They didn't like really want to like they were cool with Hibiki after he like saved their life, and then like they spared Izome after realizing that like you know
yeah,
they were
you
like,
have
oh,
to
these
give this specific combination of invaders that much humanity because, like, if this was like a
yeah,
bloodlusted, angry alien, everybody would have been getting sent
dangerous.
to Mars.
Yeah,
Everybody would
yeah,
have been getting sent to the moon, nigga. Because, like, what? You could
yeah.
do
This
that?
power was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, like the hypnosis, like you could tell a nigga to just like not see and then just send him to space. Like, yep,
Or
you're
tell him
dead.
to go to sleep and then put him next to the fucking sun.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a great character, and like it's a we. I mean, we saw them pissed off for a few minutes, but like, yeah, fucking, he's Kisu couldn't deal with Runa being hurt and dying, so yeah,
Yikes.
yeah. Good night, sweet prince and princess is at the end of the on the fucking translator note or whatever.
Yeah, that's. You think that's V? That's V. That's V's words.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out
See you
V.
soon. Shout out gang and them, but I think that's gonna do it for this one. You got anything else?
Oh no, I'm good.
All right, that's going to do it. Ranger Reject, Chapter 189, Firefly. Now jumping into Ichi the Witch, 50th Hunt, Those Who Defy. What you thinking?
The big 5-0.
Yep.
So we got some things answered pretty much right away in this chapter. Damn, I did not know that that blow actually landed on him. As far as like what we kind of like saw in the last chapter, it seemed like he kind of blocked the attack with the
Yeah.
staff, and maybe like most of it, sure, but like he still has a gaping hole in his torso. So whatever he did kind of deflect was just a smaller portion of the greater damage that he would have otherwise taken. So I guess it does make sense that he did technically block it, but Discaris is just so cold that like you can block her shit and she's still gonna eviscerate you. But
Well, it's the move is I just went back. It's called pierce. She says pierce through all Lazud. So I'm guessing it's a kind of move that just pierces. Even if like the staff, normally she would have probably ripped the weapon in half, but because it's the world hater staff, it's probably unbreakable. But
oh,
it
okay.
still pierces everything behind that.
Oh, okay, great.
So it
Yeah,
just ripped him.
love that. But that was crazy. Like I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit, he's got a fucking hole in him. And then she like goes to split asunder Lindell, slices his head off, and then the body still goes to attack, and they kind of like clash for a little bit, and then he like grabs his head. So this nigga is a magic, yeah, we find out, which is
Yeah.
like, you know, what it would have had to have been. Otherwise, we would have had to have some like very awkward conversations about, you know, like why human men are able to like wield magic to this degree, even if it's with a tool, and not like, you know, 100% inherently from them in any kind of magic capacity regard.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like there's literally writing in the beginning of the series that says like even if you got tools, like niggas cannot do this shit because they don't have any magic inside them that would help, you know, power the tools specifically. So he ended up having to be a magic. She does pull out Golconda like we knew that she would, but that's what I love about this creative team is that they can know that the audience, the reader, is going to assume that she would use Golconda because why wouldn't she? Like
Yeah.
this is a character that she absolutely needs information from because he's doing weird shit. So boom, you summon Golconda, but then boom, he fucking has some kind of ability that allows him to, you know, kind of reverse the orders of magics that are already kind of subjugated by other mages or witches, which is really fucking strong. But then
Yeah.
Descaris just out auras him and
Yeah.
and gets control of the magic back, which is just like a huge feat for her too. On top of that, it's just a really interesting and well done exchange.
Yeah, was a great back and forth. Like Gokanda being scared too. Like even when given the order, like I just kind of imagine it wouldn't. I don't know. It's like it still retained its personality, so it like goes to attack and then it's spun around and it isn't like it's forced to obey the order of like questioning the scars, but it still is like what do you fear? It's just like
Yeah,
bruh. It's like, yo, it's like dog, like the fucking sent shivers up its fucking spine, its long ass body, and it's just
yeah.
it's done.
You
Magic's
could
over. No
tell
more
that
power.
it was like scared to try to ask Descaris a question. Like you could tell it's like fighting like it don't want to do this, like but it has
Yeah.
to. And it's like, what is what is it you, huh? You fear. That's just like so funny. And then she's like, "The fuck did you just say, nigga?" He's like, "Oh, I mean, no, sorry."
I will go back to being your blanket. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's cold, man. Descaris is the truth, and this dude is. I mean, dude's tight. He's standing there, big hole in his stomach, fucking head cut off, and he's fucking commanding her magic and shit, and he's just
Yeah.
still just chilling, talking shit.
And I love this dialogue that they have on page 10 where she's like, "Hey, what was that? Magic manipulation, some way of reversing orders. How dare you pick on my poor sweet Golconda like that, you jerk." And he's like, no, you were the one who just abused your magic." So like this is, the ideological difference between these two characters that's just like so well represented, something that's so normal for Descaris in her area of expertise and in her outlook on this whole human magic relationship is like, I'm supposed to be beating these magics up, learning their trial, defeating them, and then subjugating them and having them work for me, and that's normal for me. But then
Yeah,
this magic is like, dude, what you're doing is literally animal abuse. So like you're like Michael Vick basically to me. And like I don't fuck with that, bro. You know what I mean? So like that is like that, philosophical clash between what this waiter character who works for World Hater is kind of going for versus something that is just base level, like common sense, like this is how this relationship is supposed to work for a character like Descaris. So just in that brief little exchange, I feel like communicated so much philosophically. I just loved that in this chapter.
yeah. Some people were saying it reminded them of Team Plasma, which was from Pokemon Black and White, and they were organization based in the Unova region with the stated goal of liberating all Pokemon from their trainers, either by manipulating the trainer to release the Pokemon or by theft. Their goal of liberating Pokemon was led by their king. So yeah, they were trying to liberate the
That's a
Pokemon.
super cool and interesting antagonist organization in Pokemon storytelling. I did not know
Yeah,
Black and White was doing that. That's tight.
yeah. Pokemon can get deep sometimes. They be
Yeah.
goofy a lot of time, but they
I'm
be
like Gen 1 to Gen 4 max. So like I
gotcha.
don't
Yeah,
yeah.
Black and White was Gen 5, so you start
Yeah.
right before they got there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, everybody's been making the Pokemon connections with Ichi the Witch, and Descaris is using her Pokemon the way a Pokemon trainer would, and then this guy's like, nah, bruh, like,
I'm Team
gotta get,
Plasma.
yeah, getting this shit out of here. You're abusing that thing. It should be with us. Be free. Fucking spreading chaos and whatever the hell it wants. Like,
I hate when villains be making sense sometimes, because it's like that like flips the script, like it completely recontextualizes like how I kind of like view human magic relationships like up until this point. And I know that that's like the goal, that's the point that the creative team is kind of going for, is to introduce this counter philosophy in this way. But it's just like really effective, man, because I'm like, holy shit, like y'all are kind of spitting, like you obviously you're going about it in ways that oppose like my people that I've come to care about on the protagonist side of things. But it's like I can't be mad at you for having an outlook like this. You are literally a magic, so
yeah,
of course you would think this, and you can't be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like if a dog like ran up on Michael Vick like, bro, what are you doing to my people? You'd feel for the dog. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Yeah. It's like
yeah,
it's really good that Descaris gets these moments too because she's seen as like the strongest. So it's like putting her in situations where she's got to question like how she how she treats the magics and looks at this whole situation. It's different from like Ichi, who is learning. He's new to the whole system. He hasn't been born and raised in this and doing it his whole
right,
life. Descaris has been doing this probably since a kid. Like
yeah.
she's probably been the best for a long time. And it's like trying to change her outlook and have her, question what she's known for so long. It's cool.
But it's not like all of these magics are just like docile, just like trying to like live their lives in the wilderness, like, and they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
passive or whatever. A lot of these magics genuinely be tweaking, my nigga, like trying to kill humans and shit. So it's like, like nobody's really wrong here in
Yeah.
their approach to it, because it's like a lot of these magics, if you just let them cook and do whatever, like people are dying. So like they have
It
to be
does.
killed or subjugated or whatever in order to stop the deaths of innocent people too. So
Yeah, that also does kind of remind me of like we were talking about the Demon Slayer movie a second ago, and so like in a later part, spoilers for anybody who cares about Demon Slayer, but later in the arc that's playing out in the movie, like probably be like the third movie in this like trilogy or whatever, but near the end of the story, Muzan or whatever, he speaks to Tanjiro and he's talking about Tanjiro is like saying stuff to him. He's like, "Why do you guys do this?" It kind of reminds me of Yuji talking to Sukuna too. Like when Yuji is asking him like why he does what he does, and he's like, "Because you're weak, I can step on you or whatever." Muzan and Tanjiro kind of have a similar conversation where he asks him, why is he doing this, and Muzan kind of responds saying like, you should just be happy that you even exist. Like you wouldn't be mad at a hurricane or a tornado for killing thousands of people, and you should consider me as a natural disaster also. Like
ooh,
you're not gonna kill me, and like you're just in my way. You're slowing down because Muzan ultimately his goal was to find something to give himself eternal life. It had nothing to do with killing all these guys. They got in the way of him getting achieving eternal life, and so he looked at himself as a calamity. He treated himself as such, and he said that you wouldn't seek revenge against a volcano or a hurricane. You would just simply move on and live on with your day. And the same way, this guy is kind of saying the same thing. It's like, like you were saying, like if it wasn't for these witches, beating the magics, they would just be vibing and leveling, mountains and stuff. Some of them be chilling, like the mushroom, but the other ones would just be, burning villages and stuff. And to them, they just see that as natural. They just,
right,
they expect you to just move on, not like come back and seek revenge and fight and shit like that. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's interesting.
But at the
Interesting
same
seeing.
time, it's like if humans had the ability to, you know, combat natural disasters and stop them from fucking up the planet or killing
For
people,
sure.
we would. So,
Yeah, yeah,
like, it's only because we have these small fleshy bodies that will get ripped to shreds by lava or a hurricane or whatever that we don't, actively try to oppose them with physical force. But characters
yeah,
that do have the ability to go toe to toe with natural disasters obviously will, because that you don't just want random people dying or
yeah,
the environment being burnt up or blown away. So
yeah.
anyway, it's really interesting
But
stuff.
yeah, yeah. Man versus nature and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, and then he goes back to World Hater's crib, and it's like he's like, I'm tired of this human form. It makes me fucking sick to even have a form like this. So I'm like, all right, what's this nigga really look like? And obviously he's got this weird fucking chimera, fishtail, lion's paw, horse mane body, but then just still has a human face. Like, nigga, fuck you. Fuck
I think
you.
I think it's I think it has it fully like I think it was all like kind of globbing
Oh,
and
okay.
and yeah, because on the
So we
top you
have
see
yet
it
to
says
see
like
his true
lorb.
face. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. I
okay.
think he's just kind of molding, but he doesn't
Because
end
I'm
with
about to
like
be
his
mad as
face.
hell if you got that butler's face normally, and then the rest of your body is just, a chimera monster. Like,
It would be fucking wild. Yeah, I was expecting some fucking Tiger Man or something,
yeah.
some lion face with that, but nah. I wonder though now, like if he isn't gonna have a human face, like it probably won't be like his face might not be cat like. Maybe it'll be like I don't know,
Yeah. And
more
what's
a
up with
beard
World
head or
Hater? Is
something.
this even World Hater's like true form? Like, why is he so humanoid then?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's got the hooves,
Yeah,
but
got the goat feet,
yeah, the goat
but
for
just
real.
about everything else about him is humanoid. So
Yeah, maybe he's like a satyr or something, and he's his whole not it's not just his feet, but his whole bottom half is like fucking.
like fucking Joji in the slow dancing in the dark music video. I don't know
I'm
if you've
not
seen that.
familiar.
Yeah, it's basically just like satyr. He's just a satyr in that music video.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like I might have seen a music video like that. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm probably seen it, but Yeah, no, this is as usual, good chapter. Fucking dude came back to the crib, head sliced in half. Like he
Yeah.
he got tossed by Discaris, but he's chilling. I
Yep. He
wonder,
didn't
like,
get
does
the
he
trial
not
beat,
feel it?
so nah, they gotta feel it because that was like the whole. That was the whole point of the Goku Raku storytelling is that he was running up
Oh
on
yeah.
he was running up on Magics and beating the dog shit out of them, but like not acquiring their trials. It's like, bro, like you're not gonna kill me. He's like, I don't want to kill you. I just want you to feel pain. Like, and he was
Beating the doo doo out of me.
yeah, he was fucking smacking Bakugami around too, and that nigga was fucking bleeding from every orifice. Like, bro, please stop this.
Oh yeah, it's like at that point, it's like I wish I could die, bro, but I just won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and yeah, I'm guessing like the world hater sent like maybe I wonder if this guy he knew about Discaris' brother, or if this was information given to him by the world hater. Like, yeah, if you run into Discaris, make sure to fucking
Bring up
tease
her
her
little
brother or
brother.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but since her that had her on go, she was like, nah, fucking poke you up right quick.
Yeah, and even though he did bounce through the portal, she still poked him a couple more times, and he's got half a face when he gets back to the crib. That's so funny.
Yeah, bro got that freaky tongue though.
The eyes
What's up
on
with
the
that?
tongue. I don't even know. I'm trying to see what that do. Oh no, I
Yeah,
mean,
those are eyes. Those are mouths on the tongue. Those are
oh,
yeah.
those are
I'm trying
mouths
to
on the tongue.
yeah. Trying to see
Yeah.
what them tongue mouths do. That's crazy. Broken eat four glizzies at a time.
Five if you count the overarching tongue.
Yeah, he can go crazy with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
need that. Pause.
yeah.
But yeah.
Unpause. Play.
Resume. But yeah, I love this last double page spread with Jiki Shirone and her like human counterpart in their, inner domain space.
Yeah.
Because like there could be no future where humans and magics coexist, and it's like, we have a couple examples of different ways that we know they can. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
obviously you have like the normal, Mantonel Witches Association approach to finding out the trial, beating it, and acquiring the magic and using it for combat or whatever kind of conflict that you might run into where you need magic help. But then there's also another example of coexistence inside of the, shared body relationship between Chika Shirone and this woman. So it's like we got characters that want this coexistence for, a bunch of different reasons. And then you have like just like the raw magic side of things where it's just like, bro, we tired of being slaves for y'all. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so everyone's got motivations that make sense for them. And we have different examples of these motivations shown and present in the story. And there's just a lot going on already. We're almost a year into Ichi the Witch chapter wise. And it's just
Hmm.
done everything that it's been trying to do very, very well.
Yeah, it's been busting, and I mean this is clearly leading to a. Looks like we're getting out of. Excuse me. We're getting out of whatever like little mini arc we're in now, and probably heading into something major in the next like two chapters. I really like the Jiki Shirane stuff in it. Like, I was always a fan of their character because they remind me of like the Future Devil, but Future Devil didn't really get any like screen time. Really, we didn't like see much from it other
Yeah.
than it laughing and saying like you're gonna die and stuff. But like this character is kind of the same, and we're seeing what they really care about, and it makes me wonder two things like could what is there? I forget the prophecy devil, not devil, but prophecy magic. I think that
Yeah.
was this
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
magic is.
Yeah.
But like, could the human Jukishirone like defeat it like inside, complete its trial like from inside the domain? Because like the roles are reversed. Normally, you beat the trial and the magic goes into your like domain, but the human is in like her domain, and she's the one outside. So like, could she defeat the magic and then be in possession of it forever? And like, could that
Um,
heal? But
I want to say that this particular dynamic is a lot more unique than anything that we've seen before because if I remember the storytelling correctly, this woman had died or something, or her
she was in a
physical.
coma.
Oh yeah, her physical body had expired to a certain degree. She was in a coma. A coma.
But yeah, she was in a coma. Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
and
okay.
then
So
she
then, yeah,
got like possessed.
yeah. That's what I couldn't remember is
Yeah.
like because I thought it was like your body's expired, so I'm taking it over as this magic, and now I'm wearing you basically. But then like her soul or spirit was like still kind of caught up in the domain because of the magic influence over the body, like didn't let the spirit go to the afterlife or something like that. And that's the whole reason why the human character is like still around, like at all. Otherwise, if like my interpretation was like if the magic didn't come in and like reclaim the body, that she would have just been dead and gone spiritually as
She
well
probably
or
would have
whatever.
died eventually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
So so I wonder like
so
what
she's
happens if
working
someone.
basically as like life support and like
Yeah.
yeah, okay, okay.
So like what happens if someone does complete the trial though? Does the Jikishirone just disappear? Like does the human just die at that point? Like if someone were to find out what her trial was and beat her and do it, like, and then, like say Ichi, does the trial and then the fucking magic becomes one of Ichi's Pokemon, like what happens to this fucking human? Does she just fucking cease to exist?
I don't know. Good cue.
Yep, yep. Questions that need answers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is a perfect time to head into a new arc, leading off with, the official kind of anniversary being around 51, 52 chapters. So it's a good time to start a big arc. Hopefully we get something chunky, something on the level of Bakugame arc. Let's get some meat here.
Yes, sir. I'm ready for meat.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. Clip that chat. Um, but yeah, I think I'm spent for this one. You got anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, so that is going to do it for Ichi the Witch 50th Hunts Those Who Defy. Now jumping into Otr of the Flame, Chapter 18, Countermeasure. You got any thoughts for this one?
Great color page.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
good color. Um,
This nigga
I
Yuki Kawaguchi got the Bifrost like color palette down. Like it's very the rainbowy like effects are very on point in
yeah, you go
any of
crazy
his
with
art.
that.
Yeah.
I do like the different colors on Kutane's like armor too. It's like didn't have that green sprinkled in there, but that's dope.
Yeah, I didn't know his hair was gonna be, different shades of green and blue like that. That's tight.
Yeah, this I think this is like the same, like minus all the other characters. I'm pretty sure this Oder and Fiolja or whatever this background is the volume one cover, which
Oh, I'm screaming.
I yeah I didn't think was that impressive. Like it's cool for a color page, but I didn't think it was good for a volume one. And then I'm pretty sure it's the same thing, and then he like reused it and slapped these other guys on there. So I think it's better now, but
Mm,
like yeah, I don't know. It's a cool color
yeah.
for a chapter, but not for a volume, in my opinion. I don't know.
I feel like I
We'll
haven't
see.
seen colors this good on a color page since like, at least for me, since like Mission Yozakura Family was the last time I remember colors on a color page being this
Colory.
vibrant, this colory,
Yeah,
this poppy,
yeah.
this good.
The Yozakura family was one of them ones though. Like the fucking color page always the volume covers used to always go crazy.
Oh wait, I'm
Like
lying because Elusive Samurai's right there too.
yeah, they I
Yeah,
mean those two kind of they
yeah,
stood out
yeah,
very fucking head and shoulders above the rest and
yeah,
jump in my opinion. But
yeah.
this is good.
Hell yeah. As
Yeah,
far as the actual chapter goes, it's great. I
yeah,
love this chapter. I think that um, just like the further like plot advancement of what they're going for with this wind spirit and the obstacles that they're kind of facing in regards to the wicked horn and just like the environment in general of like where this conflict is kind of located. I feel like everything is working well as like as far as conflict goes, as far as like what they kind of have to overcome in order to accomplish the goals that they have for this arc. Everything is like well set up. The pieces are laid out, so it just is going to come down to conflict resolution for me at this point and how
yeah,
satisfying that's going to be. But I love how it's set up. You know what I mean? It's like we had to get off of the main ship. We're in this area, the windless waters, the spot where wind currents from 6 different directions clash. Like, you have to be able to really know this location very well in order to even find where we're trying to go. That's why we have Kutain here. They get in the smaller boat. They head towards the area. They get there. Fucking Hugin gave them like the rune disc and was like, line up all of the runes properly, and it'll activate the spells that we have engraved into it that allows them to see, the Wicked Horn through his stealth or whatever. And
hmm
it's just like setting one thing up and then paying it off, and setting one thing up and paying it off in succession. And it feels really good so far. The art was really good this chapter, and like the strategy that that the Wicked Horn is kind of using to get these really horrible reactions out of the protagonists is really interesting for his character, and the way that they have kind of been trying to overcome them so far has been well addressed by Kawaguchi in regard to him wearing these like mocher. Um, he's wearing mocher like their armor, and then he's like, okay, how do I deal with that? Well, I'll just like have my sword on fire and like cut through it. Like normally they can regenerate, but if I like cauterize the wound, it's harder for them to regenerate. And then the Wicked Horn has a contingency for that. He's like, well, I'll just use a bunch of small ones. So whenever you burn one up, I'll replace it with another one. And it's like, okay, there's like a really good back and forth here going
Yeah.
inside of this conflict. So I'm just excited to see what the resolution looks like at this point.
Yeah, I like the Wicked Horn a lot so far, and he's even, using tactics similar to Mahito, where he like he swings and like when Oda goes to stab, it's like Eddie Perko's face pops out of this fucking like fist or whatever,
Yeah,
and yeah, and
it
just
is giving Mahito. I didn't even think about that.
yeah, and just incorporating like that fucking sea creature's body into his own to use as armor, and his fighting style is interesting. I mean, he's a tricky guy. He does stuff with stealth, and then he's
Yeah, it's giving
fucking
Loki.
yeah. He's a cool character. Very very wicked.
Yeah, the wicked nature is really starting to show in these last couple of chapters for him, because he was
Yeah,
introduced like so like timid and like
yeah,
very. He seemed like kind of like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like at first, like that just has like these really tricky tactics that allow him to kind of to do what he's trying to do. But at the end of the day, like this motherfucker really knows what he's doing, and I
yeah.
love how they're kind of like using known Norse stuff. Like everyone knows what has heard of a blood eagle. You know what I'm saying? Like even people who
Uh,
aren't like really into Norse myth or Norse culture or whatever. Like blood eagle is something that like everybody like talks about when it comes to like that Vikings TV show, or just like whatever. I've seen conversations about like this idea like so
mm,
many times, I want to say, and like just using it here in your fighting style, or actually it wasn't even, it was like this spell requires a payment from the caster himself, of course, so he just like blood eagles himself, which is like on some fucking sado masochistic kind of situation from him too. So he's just a fucking sick ass nigga, bro.
yeah, I love this. And like, so he's ripping out his lungs, and the ritual will have the wind spirit basically take the place. So his lungs will be replaced by the wind spirit. So it's like
That makes a
the
lot of
things that
sense.
normally, yeah, carry the oxygen or whatever is being replaced by a spirit of wind. So that's actually fire.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, it kind of feels like he's gonna get it. Like, I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to see what happens
he's gonna
if he
get it
gets the
real
wind
quick,
spirit.
and then they have to fight the wind spirit. Then they're gonna beat him, and then Kutein's gonna get the wind spirit.
Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, you were I got forcefully summoned or whatever, and you
Yeah,
were the one I was actually supposed to be, linked up with. Yeah,
yeah. That's
that
why
sounds
that's why the
right.
conflict resolution is so important when you have a setup like this, because it's very predictable, like kind of like what's going to go down here. Like the bad guy is going to get the thing that you're after, then you have to beat the bad guy so that a side character can get that thing, because it's just very obvious that Kutin is introduced so that he can have the wind spirit. So since we already
Yeah,
know that's going to happen, the conflict resolution then suddenly becomes like the most important aspect of the storytelling, as far as uncertainty and like not being able to predict exactly what's going to happen, since there are other very predictable things happening around it.
yeah,
So that is where Kawaguchi is going to have to shine in this one.
yeah. It definitely needs to wow some people with this, because it seems like it's gonna be another short arc. Like we met Kutine, I want to say like 4 chapters ago, and like this arc is probably gonna wrap up in the next 2 or 3. I don't think. I mean, this is chapter 18, and a lot of manga get axed at 19. But we just started a new batch. So the new JJK started last week, and then another new series started this Sunday. And I think it was just a batch of 2. So nothing else is getting axed for a while.
And this just
Okay.
got a color page, so
Yeah, it's still not doing well in the table of contents. A lot of people think that it's still toast, but like I don't know. I'm hoping that Kawaguchi can pull something out of the hat in the
yeah.
next 15 or so chapters. Um, I like the Etapurko. She's she told Kutane he's cool and whatever, and she noticed that he's changed and how he used to be shallow, and he's not that guy anymore. He's different. Helping to risking his life and protecting his people and his fleet or whatever. So she
Yeah.
admires that.
Something that also feels kind of different to a certain degree is that she said that he's a spoiled rich kid basically, but
Mm,
like he's still all about his craft and he's like actually strong and cares about like nature and like his people. And like a lot of times when you have like spoiled rich characters, that's like an area of their character that they kind of like have to overcome, is that spoiled bratty nature of, you know, having everything kind of given to them on a silver platter, silver spoon like type situation. And it seems like, you know, that used to be the old him maybe, but like that's just not an area of his character psychologically that he has to kind of overcome, you know, since his introduction and his initial characterization, which is just really cool. And a character like
yeah.
Poutine, as far as like what we know of him so far, he's very like about this life, very honorable, very, you know, passionate, you know, warrior type dude. And I feel like you don't get that too often when, you know, adjectives like spoiled and rich also accompany the character. So that's cool to me.
Yeah, similar to Edipico, because like nothing when we met him, nothing screamed to me that he was a rich kid or spoiled or anything. Just like until up until the point where Hugin pointed out that she was a princess. Like I just thought she was just another mountain girl,
Mm-hmm.
probably a witch or something,
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with the heroes. So it's like she's a princess and she knows his people, his family, or whatever, and he's a rich spoiled kid. Like neither of them were acting the way that you would expect
Yeah.
those type of characters to act. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, I was asking questions a while back too about how Etapirko would fight with her like ice skates. Like how does she handle situations where like the ground isn't icy, where she
Yeah.
can't skate
I
and stuff,
asked
man?
the
She
same
uses
thing, and
team.
then I saw that she got the
Yeah,
fucking ice skates in the hands as like, you know, gauntlets or whatever.
yeah,
Like,
that's dope.
that's dope.
Yeah, I do fuck with that. So it's like okay,
So you don't
and
have to be in your element in order to use your fighting style. Like you're adaptable from location to location with something
yeah,
that seems so specific to a certain kind of terrain or environment.
and we saw that she was very skilled at using them as ice skates. So now I want to see like what her hand to hand look like.
Yeah. She's gonna be just as nice with these. It's probably gonna be tighter with them in her hands than her feet.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And hopefully we get some fire stuff here from Kawaguchi.
Hell yeah.
So far, Wicked Horn's been cool. I don't have any complaints.
Page
Um,
8, when they arrive to this location, these ruins, these like stone, these like erected stone tablets or whatever that are kind of, you know, in the landscape in front of them when they board or when they dock.
mhm.
I want to say this reminds me of an actual place.
Stonehenge.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like in Australia or whatever.
Stonehenge. Is it that obvious? Oh, damn. It totally is.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's funny. Damn, these niggas at
yeah,
Stonehenge. We in Australia?
straight up
Bad.
Stonehenge. Yeah,
Okay. Cool. I knew it was
yep,
familiar,
yep.
but like, I don't know why my mind didn't go to Stonehenge because I've definitely seen that shit before. But I was like, no, it can't be that easy. But then it was. Okay.
Yeah, but like that doesn't like we see that and then that area like we don't see that stone structure at all for the rest of the chapter. So like
So it's just like an Easter egg.
yeah, I guess
You're
so.
supposed
Like
to
I
just
want to
like
see.
Leonardo DiCaprio meme, point at it, and then move on.
Yeah, like hey, there's a thing. Yeah, what I want from Otter is just for them to like go to a place and focus on the place and the conflict at the place for longer
Yeah.
than we have in the past. So like this is cool, but like I don't know, I was kind of hoping that like we would get to this tomb and it would be kind of like a raiding the tomb situation and he would also be there trying to steal the thing. But like they pull up
And
and
it's a
he's
fight right
already
away.
there. Yeah, it's a fight immediately with the guy. Like there's no minions, there's no like townspeople or anything like that. Like I need a like I need a dress roaster. Let me come to the place, meet the tiny people, find out what's wrong with them, and fix the problem.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be wanting from these like newer stories.
Yeah. It just makes the world feel like a little bit bigger, a little bit more alive. Like when you can, especially with a story like Otter of the Flame that is clearly like invoking these like very familiar like Norse myth. Like there's a lot of potential there, like in the world building to kind of elevate the story's setting and world to a point that's like, you know, bigger than the narrative at hand, to just make it feel that much more like living and breathing. And there's a very a lot of potential there to do that in a story like Otter, but it feels like we are very tightly pacing everything from conflict to conflict to where we kind of have to ignore the greater world building so that we can focus on the task at hand, which is like fine, I guess. But with a setting like this, or with a concept like this, it seems like there's like a waste of potential inside of the world building, because we just want to bounce from conflict to conflict and get these fights done, and
Yeah.
it feels like there's just so much more to be done with a world like this that we just don't have the time to focus on, because it's in like Weekly Shonen Jump and it doesn't want to get axed. So we got to get to the money, get to the action type shit, and it's disappointing to a certain degree, but I
Yeah.
still have faith for it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think I want the same
So
thing you do from Otter.
yeah, I need that world building, man, and just people have been saying that some other stuff has been really good. Like we on our first or second episode, we talked about Shinobi Undercover, and like
Might be
that's
time
that.
to revisit that.
Yeah, man, that's what I was saying. Like a lot of people have been hyping it up lately, and I've read the like first 7 or 8 chapters, and I was like, I'll come back to it later. I
I
just
only read
haven't
the
had a
first one
chance.
that
Yeah,
I only read the first one that we reviewed and never came back.
I think it was one of them ones where people kind of like started vibing with it after like 15 or 16 or something. And then it's just the art. Every week now for the last like 10 weeks, I've been seeing like cool spreads and shots from that. Like
Yeah.
somebody is posting it on my timeline. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? And it's like Shinobi Undercover. I'm like, all right, I'm coming
God
back.
damn it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been busting from the visuals at least. But yeah, um, hopefully, I mean, because I don't know. I want to ask people like who were reading Shinobi Undercover like weekly, consistently, how they felt about it when it was around. The same amount of chapters as Otter, and see like is does it seem like there's a chance for Otter to like pull it out the bag? I know some people in a couple of group chats that we were in have been reading Otter more recently, and they were saying like it has gotten better to them. So people have been saying it's gotten better, but it's like, is it too late?
Yeah. Maybe. Hope not,
Yeah,
but guess we'll see.
yeah. And if it is, I mean, I don't know. We got to at least get Kawaguchi back in the pen drawing something, man. Somebody get him a writer if he ain't gonna be sticking around with his own series. Like have him do some art or something. Like we
Yeah.
gotta
Is there? I'm
gotta have
trying
this
to think
cat.
of like who a good combo would be as far as like a writer, artist, creative team, because it's like, do you have anything off the top of your head that you can remember where the writing was really good, but maybe the art wasn't there and it ended up failing, and you're like, I want to see what else this person can write, even if I'm not the biggest fan of the art, because then that would be like a perfect pairing for someone like Kawaguchi, where everyone can agree that the art is great, but the writing isn't necessarily there. And my first thought goes to like maybe Candy Flurry.
Well,
Um,
that's Candy Flurry is
was
the yeah
already
yeah
a
yeah.
was already a writer artist combo. It
Well,
wasn't a one man show or whatever.
the artist of Candy Flurry is the one doing Shinobi
Shinobi
Undercover. Yeah,
Undercover.
yeah,
Oh, you're totally right. Okay, so wait a
yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Maybe the Deer Anemone writer, because I don't remember the Deer Anemone art being all that good, but I do remember liking the writing in the first chapter at least. I can't remember how many chapters of that I read,
I feel like that was the other way around. I think people like the art.
but the writing wasn't good. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, anybody in the comments, if you can remember a mangaka that had the writing but didn't have the art, that could be a good pairing for someone like Kawaguchi. Drop it down. Put your suggestion in the hat or whatever, because that's just like a really cool thing to think about right now for me.
Yeah, art is so hard though. Like
Oh,
it's the
yeah, yeah, true.
it's like it's easy to say like the writing is bad, but like with art, it's like the whole it being subjective, and like somebody, like it might just not be your thing. Somebody might love the like one of my favorite fucking comedy series recently was fucking Sachi's Records, and that was
Yeah.
like that character looked like fucking Eric Cartman. It's like so it's like it's hard to pick something that's like
I could
bad
see
art, good
like,
writing.
and it's not necessarily that the last Sayuki's art was bad to me, but I just want the last Sayuki mangaka to come back and do something,
Yeah.
and like, because I loved the writing in the last Sayuki actually. So like maybe if that mangaka, was the writer and Kawaguchi was the artist, that could go crazy too. But
Yeah, yeah. I would love to see Kawaguchi come back with something. I mean, he's still here for now, but like I would
yeah,
love to see him come back with a writer and just let him like fucking take their limiters off. Like if you're just doing one job and not both jobs, it's like
yeah,
your fucking power level got to shoot through the roof.
right.
because your time is spent all on art and not fucking thinking of the plot. So
Right.
if he can't nail it with his own story, like get Buddy, give him that art pen and just let him draw
Yeah.
because he be drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think I'm spent for this one. You got anything else for Otter?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, that's gonna do it for Otr of the Flame, Chapter 18, Countermeasure. Now jumping into Kagurabachi, Chapter 93, Finishing Touches. And boy, it's been a long time coming. I've been missing this, man. Last
Yeah.
week we got that Sojo chapter,
Yeah.
but we back to the thrill, the movie, the cinema,
Yes,
real
sir.
life, real action.
Real
Yeah.
cinema, G.
Yeah, it starts back off. We're still just in this standoff, and fucking Hokuto is just fucking losing it, laughing and giggling and shit. Excuse me,
He's so much
fucking
fun, bro.
yeah. This dude is great. It's like he's missing a fucking hand, and he's just still just vibing, bro. Can't. This is the most fun he's ever had in his life. He's just in love with everything. Fucking even
Yeah.
Yura's like Hokuto, like bro, you gotta chill,
You
dog.
doing the most right now, my nigga. Like we got shit to do, and you over here just like living in the moment. And it's like I get it. Like what this chapter does really well is not only does it work really good for the further characterization of everybody involved in this scene, but just their conversation with each other like helps kind of like flesh out like what everybody's strengths and weaknesses really are when it comes to this shit. Like you have um what's this nigga's name? Natsuki, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you have
that's good.
him. Yeah, he's like, bro, how come I'm the only one who used sorcery since the fight started? I didn't even think about that. Like, that's totally
Yeah,
true.
same.
You know what I mean? And Hokuto's like, I think you're the only one who needed it. Really, it's kind of like what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like we were totally fine just boxing on some on some sword play hand to hand shit, but you went out there with the sorcery shit, and it's clearly because you thought that that's what you had to do, and like that's fine, man, because your swordsmanship is great anyway, so like don't sweat it, bro. And he's like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Like, nah, nigga, because because
Bro,
I'm
yeah,
just as tight
Hokuto
as
is
y'all.
wild, bro.
Yeah, like nah, like you're fucking pissing me off right now. Like I'm gonna let that electrical leak comment slide, but like fuck all y'all, right? Uraha, and Uraha's like, yeah, but then he starts breaking down internally like what makes everybody so dangerous in this conflict, and it's like, look at Yura, like he's not even a swordsman like that. Like he's just his athleticism is like insane. Like he makes up for what he lacks in technique and skill with just like raw power, and like that's a really cool dynamic to kind of bring to um to this situation where everyone is just like dyed in the wool, head over heels in love with this swordplay shit. He's
Yeah,
like an outlier that it's letting us know that it doesn't all come down to just like one or two factors. Like you can have your own skill set, and as long as you have the tenacity and like the training in your specific area, you can hang with niggas that live in a completely different world than you combat wise. Like what everyone brings to the table is very special and separates them from everyone else at the table. And it's just really well represented with this kind of awkward but hype but tense kind of, congregation that they're having here in the middle of this fight. It's just like so well done. Like this is like so unique and cool to me in this chapter.
yeah. I love Yuri. He just feels like a businessman. Like
Yeah. Like I
he's
don't
just
want to
like
be
he
here, but I gotta be here. Like I'm about to hit overtime. Like he feels like fucking Nanami.
yeah, like Nanami, but like villain side, that final boss type deal. And
Yeah.
he's telling Hokuto to shut up and shit. You might be running your mouth a bit too much. And he's like, Hokuto's talking. He's like, bro, Hokuto, chill out. Like he's trying to rein him in, but he's also not like tripping. He's not
Yeah.
like, man, fucking, why can't I get my underling under control? It's just like,
Yeah.
Hokuto, you gotta shut up,
Because
bro.
it doesn't even really feel like an underling like situation. Like they feel like so much like equals to me. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like they're all working together for the same goal, but it doesn't have like a very hard hierarchy as far as who reports to who. Like everyone
yeah,
is contracted for what they bring to the table to accomplish this shared goal and this shared vision. But it isn't like a you work for me type of deal, because Yura can complain all he wants, but Hokuto's just like, nigga, my arm got cut off, man. Injuries are good. The pain gives you an adrenaline rush. It sharpens your focus. And Yura's like, well, I can't really fucking argue with that because, like, you're still fucking doing shit in this fight. Like, you're still, like, we're not losing, but we're not winning either. So, like, I can be
right.
irritated all I want, but, like, this nigga's here for a fucking reason. So, and he's doing his damn job. So,
Right. Down an arm, but like that nigga is no weaker than he was.
Right. It's
Yeah,
just
if anything,
so.
he's just better. Like the nigga Hokuto is different. Like the fact that he said I figured, like when he's like apologies SOB for making it an option, and then he goes I figured dot. You might be scared. Like nigga, I figured that means he wasn't even like it
Yeah.
was just kind of like an afterthought. Like oh, I just assumed that you were scared or whatever. Like he didn't care, didn't fucking think to use sorcery or anything. Just I figured makes it crazy.
Yeah, it really does.
But this stance is fire. Everybody's stanced up, different poses. Uraha with the fucking he's about to do this like EI shit, but it's just not in the sheath, so I don't
Right.
really know. I guess how that works in
I
that.
love how, like, they make a point to give, you're a dialogue that says Hokuto might be running your mouth a bit too much because, like, I'm sure that in a situation like this where you're all trying to kill each other for one reason or another, it doesn't make that much sense that everyone's just sitting here having a conversation. So they go out
Yeah,
of their way to address it in the actual writing and, like, make it like a character trait. Of the characters involved. It's like, yo, nigga, why are you talking so much? Like, we have shit to do here. Like, we ain't friends with these niggas. Like, what the fuck is all the talking for? And he's like, okay, I'm done. My bad, my bad, my bad. And it's just like, it just adds to how fun the character is to have a character trait like talking too much in a high intensity, like no holds barred, like high stakes conflict like this.
yeah. He reminds me of like a Tors or whatever from like Vinland Saga. Like he's
Yeah,
the kind of character that's like he's enjoying the fight and
yeah,
he's talking to you and laughing and
yeah,
making jokes and still swinging his sword and he's dangerous as fuck. But like
yeah,
when people need a second to breathe, he'll sit there and chat and yap
yeah,
and laugh or whatever. Like he's the like everybody people are saying stuff, but he initiates the conversation and he's just
yeah,
saying a bunch of stuff. Everyone else is kind of like responding to him and
right.
like speaking on what he's saying.
Yeah, the love of the game is just on like full display. I feel like if Hokuzono didn't include this line of dialogue from Yura, like mentioning how like we probably shouldn't be talking this much, then it would kind of take away from the scene and kind of be like an immersion damaging decision to have like this big of a conversation be had in the middle of such a big fight to where like the reader might go like, okay, they're kind of talking a little bit too much like they're fucking pals while they're
Yeah,
literally all supposed to be here dying and killing each other. But Hokuzono was like, no, this is, I'm going to address this in the dialogue and have it work towards Hokuto's character, and it just serves multiple purposes. That
yeah,
that is just so necessary to me. Yeah,
and they go 0 to 100 like this
yeah.
stanced up, and then the next page double page spread, fucking blades everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like this page, like it looks, bro. Like I had to look at it for a while, and now I'm looking at it on Weeb Central, so it's like breaking it apart. It's
Right.
pissing me off. I'm gonna have to pull it up on my phone, but like pretty sure who's. Let me see whose blade is it?
You
This is
should be using you
Hokuto's
should be
blade.
using
It's like
you should be using Kubari so that you can use the Q controls to put the split double page spread together.
oh
That's
wait, I
that's
am
what
on Kubari.
that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, hit Q a couple times
Wait, let me see. Q
and then it'll ask
two
you if you
pages
want to
at
go into Webtoon
once.
mode or whatever, and then you
Oh
say
yeah, we
no to
got it.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we straight. Yeah, so yeah, fucking. So Hokuto's blade is like right at fucking
Uraha's
uh
neck, the nape of his
yeah,
neck. Yeah.
and like what
But then
is
Uraha's blade is right at Yura's like chin, but it's also coming into contact with Yura's blade at the
with
same
yours
time,
blade?
and you can see
Yeah,
a very small visual detail in the connection of their two swords. There's like a very thin like X style like
yeah, yeah,
white line, yeah, that's like signifying the clash of their blades there. So, but then Natsuki's sheath is stopping, um or maybe it's Uraha's sheath that is also stopping Hokuto's blade from connecting to Uraha's neck. There's some
yeah.
sheath that is blocking Hokuto's blade from connecting to Uraha's neck. So
I'm thinking it must be Uraha's because like Natsuki's got both his hands on both his swords. Uraha's the one with
oh
the
yeah,
free
so
hand.
Uraha's behind the back blocking it with
Yeah,
his
that's
sheath.
cold.
Yeah, yeah,
He's fucking behind the back. That's wild.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nuts.
that's crazy. And then
Oh, wait a minute.
Natsuki.
Natsuki's right hand sword seems to have connected somewhere on an enemy because there's blood at the tip of it poking out the back of Uraha
Oh
or of
yeah,
Yura's neck. Not because it's like slicing him through and through, but just like perspective wise, Natsuki's sword is protruding out behind Uraha's neck. with someone's blood on it.
He might have got more of Hokuto's like fucking ripped off arm already, like
Yeah,
because that his blood's kind of shooting out. But I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
yeah.
Yeah,
Insane spread, dude.
yeah. Somebody was like, "How the fuck are they gonna show this in the anime?"
Right?
I feel like this is.
It's gonna
I feel
be
like
like
this is one where it's gonna have to like do a freeze frame in like
yeah.
slow motion.
That's exactly what I was just about to say.
Yeah,
But it might like do a thing where like the camera zooms in on all of the blade contact points and then zooms out to show the drawing of the double page spread in slow motion as a freeze frame.
yeah. Maybe like spinning around. Was
Yeah,
it called
like
rotoscope or something?
well, you might just get like a camera angle dedicated to Hokuto's blade coming in contact with Uraha's sheath in a close up. Then you
Yeah,
might get another like camera angle, shot that's dedicated to Uraha's sword coming in contact with Yura's sword and also close to his chin. And like it'll just zoom in on all of the like back to back in a sequence of shots, a zoom in close up of all of these blades connecting where they are, and then it zooms out to show the drawing of the double page spread in slow motion, and that's how they communicate it. I can
yeah.
see that.
They. It's gonna be a cinematic fucking experience. I just noticed that like I'm guessing Yura and yeah, interesting that Yura and Hokuto are both going for Uraha.
Yeah,
Like,
he's the big problem to them. Like Natsuki's just
yeah,
like a nigga who like he's the challenger here, like trying to like prove himself to these like like these are the top two probably biggest problems in the Hishaku, and Uraha is obviously a legendary Seitei warrior. So
yeah,
like of course
shit.
they're
Even
yeah.
it's crazy because Uraha. I mean, Yura said the young nigga with the fucking bow tie and the shorts was their hardest fighter.
Yeah, and there's got to be a reason he said that. It has to be like a very specific thing that he's good at, but like he's not that tight in like other important areas. But if
Yeah,
he's able to cook in that one specific area, then it's no question type shit.
yeah. They haven't shown him getting money yet, but we'll
Right.
get there. But yeah,
Yeah.
this shit so far it's been busting, man.
Yeah.
Hokuto's his charisma is working on everybody.
Right.
Like he's got the charm, but we move on a little bit, and we got fucking Bingo, fucking dog head dude, just chomping on niggas.
Yeah. And it's really cool the way that his ability is kind of expressed to us in this dialogue. Like Bingo, was it tasty? And he's like, I never said that any of this shit tasted good, nigga. I just have to do it because it's a part of my ability. Like I
Yeah,
have to eat or I can't use my powers. And she's like, yeah, but if you eat too much, you'll get sleepy. So it's like through this, kind of exchange of dialogue that makes sense for these two characters to kind of like have with each other, it does a good job of kind of explaining, his abilities and its advantage and disadvantage without it feeling like a over expository, like, for the reader, like kind of thing.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Showing that like he's got to use his power to. I have to eat or I can't use my powers. So it's like, so wait, I wonder, does he have something different? Like the dog head thing, and then does he maybe have another power then? Like he eats them, and that, because he says, I have to eat or I can't use my powers.
Right.
So eating isn't the power.
Right. So he eats first, and then
And
after
then
he's
he's able to do
able to
something
eat, he can
different.
do something else that we haven't seen yet.
So wait, like the dog heads. Remember we saw dog heads a couple chapters ago when Kiri was like slicing through them. They were doing something. Maybe that's related to this.
Oh, wait a minute. That's right.
Yeah, it's like they were like some floating dog heads. I don't remember what they were
Oh,
doing.
okay. So yeah, they slow you down once they deal damage to you. Or no,
Okay.
no, no. Once you deal damage to them, it slows you down. It like
Let's
adds
see.
weight to you. It like makes you feel heavier.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So he
Okay.
has to eat. He has
Dancing,
to eat
dancing lion
niggas.
heads
Then he can send the
punishes
lion
people
heads
who
out.
attack it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Feels like my body is weak. Yeah. Chapter 91.
Yeah.
Easy to slice. I can still move, but I've only done with half of them. Destroying them is gonna be a tough fight. Yeah. So if you damage them, it slow weighs you down.
Right.
But he's got to eat stuff in order to do it. Okay.
In order to send the lion heads out to be slashed in the
Yeah.
first place. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
Forgot about that for a second, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So he's cool. Fucking
Then you got Frostmouth Lady, which I
yeah.
for a second like thought was, the Hishaku woman that Kiri had already beaten. that had the
Right.
yeah, because their designs were just like that similar to me because it's like been a while since I seen her, but now I'm obviously she flash freezes this nigga, but
So
yeah,
wait,
it's a
was
completely different power
she?
set.
Somebody gonna have to correct me if you don't remember, but I feel like she was one of the ones that was there when Rokuhira was killed.
Oh,
Because
maybe.
there was a female kind of ninja looking character there. I can't remember if it's already been confirmed that she was one of them, but we know that Hokuto was there, and I can't remember who else. I want to say there's three people. So Hokuto, and I want to say her, and maybe the hat guy. I can't remember. I had to go back to chapter one. I don't feel like it right now, but um, yeah,
Yeah, I guess I
her
don't remember.
powers are her powers are blowjob, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, the icy blowjob.
Yeah, here for it. You can kill me that way. I don't care.
Yeah. Then you got these Kamunabi defenders that pull up, and there's something going on with this comb. I don't know what it
This
is
shit is
yet.
hilarious,
I don't
bro.
know what it is yet, but like that comb is important for some reason. Um,
Bro.
it can't just be like they're focusing a little bit too much on the comb for me to believe that it's literally just there to comb a nigga's hair back and be passed back and forth. It's like, what about lice, first of all? Anyway, y'all sharing combs and
Well,
shit.
so I don't think they're sharing. I think he is just like he's just in charge of holding this nigga's comb, and it's like your robe, your highness type shit. Like he walked
Oh,
out of the
okay.
room, I'm holding your comb, sir, and he like grabs it, combs his hair, and then tosses the comb to dude, and he just holds it for the next
Okay,
time.
which is fine, but like I feel like there's still something going on with this comb that we don't know yet, but that's neither here nor there. What I love about this interaction is like it ends here, intruders. Hishaku, the rumors were true. You're a challenging bunch. Let's minimize our losses. I'll go in alone. I'll keep them busy for a few seconds. When I give the signal, focus your fire and blast me away with them. And he's just like, got it. This specifically reminds me of, and this is like the third time it's happened this episode. This is reminds me of Hunter x Hunter because
Gotta
because
get this guy
when
out of here.
no nigga, tell me I'm wrong in any of these fucking references. First of all,
All of them.
no nigga, because in the York New City arc when Zeno and Silva are confronting Crollo, and they like realize like that he's a specialist that has skill hunter and how broken that ability is. This nigga Zeno's like, Silva, I'm gonna need your support. Like once I lock him down, kill him, even if you got to kill me with him. And Silva was just
Yeah.
immediately just like, Roger, I got you. Like that's literally like the exact same vibe that this is given right now. And I just love when characters are so about their business that they're like, all right, I'm about to die real quick, but we about to get these niggas out of here. You ready? And the other one's just like, yeah. Like that shit is so tight to me. Like I feel like it does so much for the organization at hand when you have characters that are like so steadfast and so, zealous and ready to die for their cause that they can just casually say, kill them and kill me too. And the other niggas just
Yeah.
like, bet, let's get it then. You know what I'm saying? Like that is so tight to me.
Yeah, I do wonder, like, does he maybe have a technique or something that would prevent him from dying? So maybe his like thought is like, yeah, blow us both away, but I'm not gonna die. Or is he just
Maybe.
straight up cool? Like, yeah, just special beam cannon our shit, yo,
Yeah.
kill us both.
I'm excited to see.
Yeah, but he's tight, and this is the second time that like a fucking a top dog. I don't know what his like his rank is, because what's his name? Azumi, yeah, Azumi. He showed up on the same shit, like when the Hokuto dummy and those two dudes entered the execution grounds. Azumi was like, remember no, this is definitely a thing because Azumi was on the same shit. Remember, he was walking up to the execution grounds and the dude had his gloves and he was like, I'm not gonna use the gloves today or whatever. Like
Yeah.
the guy was there to give him the gloves, just like a guy is here to give him his comb, and he
That's
was like,
true.
"Nah, I'm straight." And then
Completely
he
forgot
entered it.
about
He
that.
was like, "Yeah," he was like, "I got this." Like he was like, "I'm going it alone." Azumi said the same shit, and then he went into the room and fucking thrashed them niggas. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah,
What do the
they
gloves mean? Put the gloves on and let me see what else you're doing. Like you got
yeah,
you got
yeah.
3R? You got 3R in them gloves? You about to start turning everything in the room into a weapon or some shit? Like what's
And they
going
get
on?
real dirty in here.
Yo.
Yeah, but this dude did it though. So like, I'm pretty sure I got to go back and look. I'm pretty sure Azumi rejected the gloves, but this dude took the comb. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what's the difference?
Yeah.
What's
What
the
is what
difference? Yeah.
is the difference?
Yeah, he was like, "Shit, I'm straight. I got this. Stay back. I'm handling this shit alone." And then he turned that shit into a fucking cemetery. So, what's the dude about to do?
Can't wait to see. And then yeah, we got Got a nigga riding on the back of Azami.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage
Peter Dinklage.
and dude Azami just riding the
Right.
fucking the dots on his like shirt or
Make it look
whatever
like
make it
pigtails or whatever. Like,
yeah,
yeah, like little
or like
buns.
fucking little fucking koala ears or something. Yeah,
Yeah, like fucking Chun Li buns.
yeah. Wait, why is it like? I guess it's the angle or whatever. Because like, look at that panel, and then the one next to it to the
Right,
left, and
right.
like the dots are so much higher up
Yeah, it's just a
over
perspective
Azami's
thing.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fucking Hakuri's like an adult shoulder ride. Just thinking that shit.
Yeah.
Mr. Azami, I thought you went up top. We shut down the threat elimination grounds. Too much commotion on the inside. Sorry you had to contend with that. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
is a really interesting conversation because like they're doing the thing where they're breaking down the logic of the enemy and like what their strategy could possibly be and like why it doesn't make sense for them to be doing what they're doing despite
Yeah.
being wildly capable as fighters. You know what I mean? Like yes, they're expert fighters, but at the end of the day, they're just individual sorcerers. It shouldn't take long to contain them. But the real issue is even they themselves can't have expected to charge in with such small numbers and defeat us. Like there's something else that we're missing here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's like, what is that? Because that this has been brought up multiple times in this arc. Like, how are they really thinking that they're going to get in here, do what they need to do, and leave without all just being wiped out by us? Like, they're doing a really
Yeah.
good job of, kind of like setting the stage as like this is a suicide mission for them for all intents and purposes. But
Yeah. They sent
but
their
they're
strongest
yeah.
niggas, and it's just like 7 of them.
Right. You know what I mean? Like if we stop them here, their whole plan is cooked. And like based on the location that they've chosen for this raid, there's no way that they can make it out of here like untouched, like and in one piece. So like what are they really doing? And it's like that's the question that's been in the back of my mind the entire arc so far because they've brought it up like multiple times in story. Like what are they really like what are we missing, you know?
Yeah,
And
it'd be a different story if like our side, like the Kuminabi like raided Hishaku like headquarters, but they came to them like we know that they got like 100 people down here. We just go in there 7 deep. It's like
yeah,
what's the plan?
they even like said like what the most logical possibility for their trump card could be. Like they put the Shinichi up for auction at the Rakuzaichi almost as if they were handing it over to the Kamunabi, which makes sense because it's like obviously if you do that, the Kamunabi is going to get it and take it back to the crib because you can't stop the Kamunabi with such a small force because we're just that big and we're that good at this shit. So they basically handed it over to us. And then they said if, for example, they'd somehow programmed the Shinichi to be controlled remotely, handing it over would have been like sending a bomb into our midst. But like we've ruled that out because we resealed it, we inspected it, and everything is Gucci. So like the one thing that could have possibly been their ace in the hole has been ruled out logically. So what
Yeah,
else is it? And only Hokuzono knows, bro.
it's gonna be something to do with fucking Hakuri, yo. He's gonna fucking touch that shit to send it to the fucking the space, and then his fucking head's gonna explode or something.
Yo.
Something's gonna happen here. Like they're focusing big time on the plan of having him get that sword into the storehouse.
Kagurabachi niggas that like fine tooth comb this shit and like pay way closer attention to it than me or us or whatever. If y'all have like, what is your top one brightest shining theory in regards to what the Hishaku's like real ace up the sleeve hidden trump card could be in this arc? Like I want to see him in the comment sections. I'd love to pick y'all's brains on that.
Yeah, only thing I can really think of is like what if it's a situation where like the sword saint let himself, because I had the question of like how the fuck they get him to be locked up. Like if you're the strongest nigga capable of killing 200,000 people, like
Yeah,
how do you get imprisoned?
right.
And what if it's a situation where he let
Willingly did
himself,
it
yeah,
because
so
he's
that,
working with the
yeah,
Hishaku in this way. Okay.
I'm gonna lock myself up because I know in 18 years these niggas, there's gonna be a raid, and then something set in place. So like he
Yeah.
stood up, he said it's time to
it,
ball,
it
like 10
has to
chapters
have
ago.
been something that's been set in motion like years and years ago that's
Yeah,
finally being activated now because yeah, like there's just no way like they like Hokuzono's done like too good of a job at setting the stage in a way that lets us know that they can't possibly accomplish their goals as effectively as they're making it seem like they're trying to with all of the information that we have so far. Like there has to have been something set up a long time ago with With the Sword Saint, yeah, because it even showed
Yeah,
that nigga like standing up for the first time in like however long, like however many chapters ago, like it's almost time to jam. So it's like obviously he's involved in some kind of way, but I just
yeah.
don't know
And they
how.
said he hasn't. They said he hasn't moved or said anything for 18 years. Like I know that shit was stanking.
Right.
The nigga stood up and
It
was like,
smelled
"It's time to
crazy as
go."
fuck in there, bro.
Yeah. So he up and walking around somewhere down here. So yeah, shit's about to go down. He is definitely. It had to be some sort of agreement or some plan that he was involved in 18 years ago. It was like on this day, shit's gonna go down.
Yeah.
All the pieces are in place, and like they got these niggas made their move as soon as Samura was like away. So like Samura needed to be gone, and Chihiro is tied up with Samura and Hirohiko. So like they whatever their crazy plan is, it's been in motion for 18 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just can't wait to see what it is because like we just need to see what the Sword Saint's about for real.
No,
Like if
God.
it's if he gets out and gets the sword, like that's crazy. Like one or the other. Like you let that nigga get out with his sword.
It's up.
Yeah, it's bloodshed bachi. Yeah.
Bloodshed Bachi.
Yeah. But on page 17, those two niggas they are walking into the room with little dude with the short zone. So like, I feel like we about to see him get active. He's been isolated.
Yeah.
Looked like
He's
they blew him through the room or something.
what's that Pokemon move? Bide?
Yeah, biding his time,
Yeah.
charging his lasers. Then they hit them with the fucking reflect beam.
Yo.
Yeah, yeah. Need to see what he's about. Yeah, good chapter though, as usual. Cinematic movie stuff. Can't wait to watch it on TV.
Yeah, man.
So much, man. We cover so much ground in these chapters. Like
We really do.
started with the fucking Hokuto and gang standoff, and fucking Bingo and fucking execution ground dude, and then Hakuri is at the place.
He about to do the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. What if next chapter just opens up with like Hakuri walking up closer to the glass, and then like a door opens up underneath, and then the Sword Saint just comes walking in the room.
Yo.
He's just like slow walking around the pillar that the sword is on, and just like, yo, what is he doing here? He's not supposed to. That nigga's supposed to be locked up, and then just all hell breaks
Nah,
loose.
because like there's no way the Sword Saint could move around like that without the rest of the Kamunabi like knowing and like sending fucking alerts to everybody in the vicinity. Like,
True, they do got the whole censor squad thing, but
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, he stood up and he said it was time. Like
Yeah.
he's got to be moving. So like maybe he's fucking brain fucking them motherfuckers from a mile away and knocking them unconscious or something, so they can't relate. Because like they should have said something by now once he stood up. Like the dude stood up. Like that should have been on the loudspeakers. Like, yo, sword
Yeah.
dude's up, bro. He finally moved his ass. Like all high alert. Like if that nigga blink, y'all need to be moving.
Bro, what if, and this is a, no, there's no way. This is too tinfoil hat and just like so impossible. But like, what if this Sword Saint they think they have is a fucking Hokuto sorcery
Bruh,
clone, bro?
that'd be wild. Hokuto stocks go crazy.
I know, right?
So like, yeah, it took up a lot of energy to leave that clone in there for 18 years. Like, nigga, what
Yo,
do you mean?
that would be, no, it's impossible. But I had to say it because it came to mind. Y'all can roast me all
Hey.
you want in the comments. It's not true. But in the 0.00001% chance that it is, I needed it to be documented.
Yeah, cook them in the chat in the comments, yeah.
Yeah,
Let them know.
I'm ready.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a banger chapter. I think I'm spent for this one. You got anything else?
Oh no, I'm good, man.
That's gonna do it for Big Bachi, chapter 93, finishing touches. Now for the last manga segment of the night, we got Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo chapter 2, Deterrence. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. It's a good follow up chapter to the first one. It does a lot of like continuing of the fleshing out of like the current state of the world when it comes to the relationship between humans and aliens. Are they refugees? Are they invaders? And like how fragile um, the situation kind of is in that regard, because like it seems like
Mm-hmm.
at any moment, depending on what happens, it could turn into an invader war situation. But if if the diplomacy is on point, then things can remain cool. But obviously, we know that this is a story that needs conflict, so we're teetering on that line, and it's probably going to go south or left to a certain degree at some point. So they're just trying to keep everything level, and it's like a seesaw of like the can we keep the diplomacy in check in a way that prevents everything from going haywire and starting this war with the Sumerians. They got 50,000 of them niggas in the spaceship right above Tokyo. Like that is just like a
Crazy.
fucking time bomb like waiting to explode. You know what I mean? And
That's basically culling games.
yeah, but it does a good job of like making it make sense that these two fucking relatively inexperienced high school sorcerers are the only thing keeping humanity and Tokyo safe from an alien invasion, because they have the diplomatic setup with Maru as a high schooler undercover kind of everything is just so set up to where it's like, okay, this is why we're focusing on these two characters specifically, the Okotsu siblings, instead of this having like a huge contingent of sorcerers being involved in this story, so that it can be a little bit more controlled and focused of a cast rather than like a big war style cast. You know what I mean? So I think that this chapter does a really good job of establishing why things are working the way they are in the beginning of the series. Anyway.
Yeah, I was thinking about like how a conflict can come, and it's like, obviously, like when you show these new character designs, like their representative, I forget if they gave his name, um, the fucking horn guy, alien Sukuna, but like you show him on, in this chapter, and then I'm not sure if he's the same guy who was on page one of chapter one, but I think he looks older if it is him or whatever. I think he looks older in the first chapter. Um, so I'm thinking
Uh,
maybe it might not be the same guy,
no,
but
that is him. It is him.
okay.
So Cross, the
Cross is the
the
twin of Murr.
that's right. He's like the evil twin, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's who this fucking Vaso Lorde character design alien is kind of talking to on the first page
yeah,
of
yeah,
chapter one. So
yeah,
Cross and this big Sukuna alien demon nigga are talking in chapter one, and then here it is again with Cross in chapter two as they go to this diplomatic meeting with Usami and his little nigga.
yeah. So I was thinking like I could see this going south where it's like if so for first off I want to know like what refugees, that means they're like fleeing someplace, like they're
Mm-hmm.
seeking shelter or
Asylum.
whatever, so like yeah, what are they fucking like running from, like where are they coming from, and is it following them, like is whatever they're trying to get away from going to come to Earth and fight? And so, if so, like, are they willing to defend, fight alongside the Japanese sorcerers or whatever,
Well, what it
Jujutsu
feels like to
sorcerers?
me is that the refugee angle is like cap. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
I think that they're pulling up because they want something from the planet, but they
Mm.
don't know what the defense forces on the planet necessarily look like yet. So they're sending Maru to kind of be their representative to get as much information as they can from humanity. But like unbeknownst to Maru, like
Yeah.
they have a secret like plot going like to definitely invade and start like some kind of like war style conflict with humanity once they get all the information that they need from
Yeah.
Maru about exactly what humanity is kind of capable of, is what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the Maru thing, like maybe they told Maru that they would like allow him to be a representative and test the waters or whatever, and then once he relays certain information, thinking that like it's gonna be good and it'll unify their people, Earth and the aliens, it'll be like, oh yeah, they're totally cool, the Earthlings aren't hateful, they'll totally be down
Yeah.
with us moving here and it
Yeah,
being a
and
vibe,
they
and then
can
it
use the
like
same powers as us, but like
yeah.
they're way weaker in this generation than they were back in the day when they beat this Ryumen Sukuna character. They're like, "What'd you just say? They're weak? Oh, all right, bet.
Yeah, it is like, all right,
Real
cool.
plan
And then,
commence then."
yeah.
Yeah,
And then he's like, wait. I thought we were going to be cool with them, because he's actually like the cooler brother, and the
yeah,
other guy is like a dick. So it's like, yeah, sorry, bro. Like, this was, we just wanted to get you out of the way. Like, because having you around would ruin the plan or whatever. We had to
right,
cook in the background or whatever.
right.
Yeah, I feel like because I mean you don't introduce character designs like this fucking goat Sukuna nigga and not have him fight. Like he's got to fight somebody,
Right. Yeah. That's like
and
he's
then
probably final fight type nigga for this short
yeah,
run or whatever.
yeah, and then like Maru and Cross they give me like Uraume and like the angels from like Dragon Ball and like Supreme Kai type vibes or whatever. Like they
Yeah.
seem like they can fight, but they seem like they kind of act as attendants or whatever a lot for like this nigga.
Right.
And just I don't know, dude, just look beast, man. Like I was having I don't know if you were around for the conversation, but someone in a HGS group chat for people that don't know, we got a group chat. You know how it is on Twitter shit.
Jujutsu
But
Kaisen
like
specific group chat. Yeah.
yeah, we're in a Kaisen chat, and somebody was like, I don't like the thought of like them saying that Jujutsu sorcery and stuff like that originated from aliens, and I was saying that I don't think that's truly what's happening. I think that the aliens found out, like it's just a case where like people on Earth discovered Jujutsu sorcery, and like the aliens had already had it, and they had more time to hone it and learn it or whatever, and they discovered that another civilization also had it, and they were like, let's go see what they up to. It wasn't like
Yeah.
we sent aliens here and see, they didn't send the seeds to Earth and then come back later to see how they sprouted and grew. They
Right.
just also happened to have the same like jujutsu advancements or whatever, but like the
Yeah.
Sumerians were further along, so now they're coming to like test it and see how well they have learned to hone this skill. And so like
I was
I
a
feel
part of that
like
conversation. Yes,
okay, okay,
I was involved. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it's basically along the lines of what you were saying. Like it seems like sentient life is the only thing that's required in order to access this energy system. So
mhm,
if you are, you know, advanced enough cognitively that you can feel emotions, then you have access to, you know, jujutsu sorcery. And that
yeah,
jujutsu sorcery just so happens to be the humanity's interpretation of this power and like what they call it. Whereas like on
yeah,
whatever planet that these niggas come from, they probably call it, you know, like alien juice abilities or whatever the fuck
yeah.
they want to call it. You
Just
know
like
what I
the whole
mean?
like everything seems like magic until you can explain it to be in science or
Yeah,
whatever,
it's akin
that
to
type of
like
deal.
in like One Piece where like hockey is first introduced in Skypiea, but they called it mantra. That was just their culture's
Yeah,
interpretation of the ability.
exactly.
And then you find out that another culture, you know, apart from Skypieans, call it hockey, but it's all the same thing. You know what I mean? So it feels like that. I'm trying to like go back into the chat and like maybe I have to like search in conversation for like what I said. Emotions is a good keyword.
Yeah.
What did I say here?
I just wonder, like,
Yeah.
because the way these guys kind of look similar to Sukuna, I'm wondering if that is kind of just like a like Sukuna kind of was reaching levels that they had already gotten to. Like these guys are probably thousands of years old, and it's just like from honing this like power system and doing it so much, they start to like look like this. Sukuna probably took it a further level, like more arms and shit is probably not part of the process, but
Yeah.
like they just leveled up 1 to 100, and he like leveled up to 70, and then like added some augments to himself. Like he did some shit to get more arms or
Right,
whatever. And like
right,
these
right.
these guys probably just leveled the power system up to the max.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and it's like just because they're aliens doesn't mean they have to have like fucking light speed travel. Like they could have found out and about like the Earth shit years ago and just took a long time to get here. A lot of
Right.
people were saying like they waited for Sukuna to die or something, and I don't think that's the case. They came here when they could,
Yeah.
regardless, whatever the circumstances are. Maybe they were running from something, or maybe they come in here to conquer this planet. And it's like, oh yeah, they already have. I mean, it's another thing is like, it makes sense to move on to a planet that already has Jujutsu like as a power system. It's kind of like you move into a new house. You move from where you live. You would if the next house you're moving to already has hookups for fucking Xfinity. It's like, okay, fucking bonus. I don't have to fucking call Comcast to come in and fucking run wires through my wall because it's already here. Like
Yeah.
the system is already on Earth. If they they don't have to like fucking plant the seeds for it.
Right, yeah, and I found like where I interacted with this conversation in the group chat or whatever. I said I want to say it's not a new idea to have supernatural phenomenon Earth eventually be linked to cosmic entities. We have that in Dandadan right now. That's also a major point of Marvel Comics lore, etc. Shit, there are even theories about it here in the real world. Ed Leeds Callan and the Coral Castle comes to mind. Nikola Tesla, etc. And then yeah, I said. So whether it was always his idea or he thought of it later, at least it can all feel cohesive enough that aliens
Yeah.
are eventually involved in Jujutsu Kaisen. Cursed energy seems to just be a sentient life thing. If you can feel emotions, you have access to the energy. I can see it being a thing where the aliens are just a much older species than humans too. If every planet with sentient life has access to this power, and this alien race is 5 million years old versus a couple 100,000-year-old humanity, then then yeah, I don't know. That's just like everything that I said about it or whatever. I had to scroll up a decent amount for that.
Mm.
But yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
I really don't care about like the introduction of aliens in a story that is continuing from the original one and takes place like, half a century later. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
eventually aliens came here and like if it really is just like a sentient life thing, like to where if you're advanced enough cognitively, you can use cursed energy, that makes enough sense for me and I'm fine with the aliens being here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I after we did our review, I did go and watch Ronan and Creams. They have a podcast where they talk about JJK and stuff. So they were talking about it, and something that we forgot to mention or just didn't think about it or whatever. But they were like, "Where's Yuji?" And it's like, okay, so like Yuji, he might be dead because it's 80 years later, but he is, he's different. He's got a different body or whatever. So like,
Yeah.
I wonder, do you think Yuji might still be around, like training sorcerers, or maybe like everyone around him has died already, so like maybe he's also died.
He
Do
could be
you
on
think
his
we'll
way
see him?
out, but I mean, like at the end of the day, I think he was younger than Yuta. So
Hmm.
he like if he really is about to like just die of old age, similar to Yuta and Maki, it could be like not this year, but like next year or something. Like when did hold on, wait a minute. When did
But he's
Yuta?
also got a different body.
Oh
He's
yeah,
not
and he
like
does a
just a
different.
regular
Yeah,
human.
you're
So it's
totally
like
right. He could still be around.
he could still be fresh looking too. Like he could,
Yeah,
like it's
he could
possible
only
he
look like
looks
50
like,
or 60 years old or some shit.
yeah, like he's probably vibing and fucking like, yeah. I wonder like
There's
is he gonna
definitely
show
gonna
up
be a
and
scene where it's like we need to contact Yuji Itadori.
yeah,
That
I
guy's
need
still
to,
around? It's like, oh yeah,
bruh.
you didn't know? Like this nigga's different. Yeah, I could
The
definitely see
scene from
that.
every movie where they fucking walk into a bar and it's like, "Sir, we need you," and it's like, "I told you guys I was out." Whatever.
He's literally just like Wolverine, like when he
Yeah.
tries to get recruited by fucking Magneto and Charles Xavier smoking a cigar at the fucking at the pub. It's like fuck off.
It's like it's not interested.
Yeah, completely
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah, that Yuji could still be a thing.
Yeah. Like
Um, yeah,
this character though, like the fact that the way they introduced him, where it's like, may we have our representative be present? He's like, yeah, sure. Is there any reason you wanted to ask? It's like it's because the concept of being unarmed is meaningless for him. Like, nigga, what,
yeah,
what does that mean? That nigga's so dangerous that he is
yeah.
just his body is a weapon, bro.
Right. Yeah, that was hype.
So we can't comfortably let him attend unless you understand he has no hostile intentions, and then like you just the fucking sound effects for his footsteps clacking as he walks in.
Yeah, just aura.
Yeah, this nigga is scary looking. Yeah,
Yeah, I like this page 10 dialogue exchange where Tsurugi's like, all diplomatic missions with aliens have been Japan's responsibility since the security treaty, and apparently the inspector general says the aliens are being treated as special grade on par with Ryomen Sukuna. And then Yuka is like, Ryomen Sukuna, the one responsible for that scar on Grandpa's forehead? It's like, nigga, what? That was Kenjaku. So
yeah,
it's like,
yeah. It
so
just
it goes back into the idea that like so much time has passed that like we've lost like receipts. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
like
yeah,
we don't remember as much about like what actually happened in history. If someone who's like a direct family member of the people directly involved in the conflict 68 years ago, are the details are kind of fuzzy on exactly what happened and who was present, who was involved. Like, Sukuna did not give Grandpa that scar. Like the nigga did
yeah.
that shit to himself because of a completely different villain that just so happened to be there. Like, does anybody in modern day Tokyo even know who Kenjaku fucking was?
Probably not. His name is probably lost in
Yeah,
fucking history
right.
because I mean, he went out sad. Like he didn't. His glorious plan didn't, come to fruition. Like he initiated the games, but he
Yeah,
never got to realize his goal.
Yeah, and that's crazy that Yuta and Maki didn't like sit their grandchildren or their children down and be like, "This is exactly what happened on that day." Because like, nigga, me, if I was MVP All Star team of the niggas that fought Ryo Mizukuda, I'd be like, "All right, everybody, sit down." I'd be getting drunk as fuck at every Christmas and telling that story 10 times a year.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I'm
guess because
saying?
it's like so much death. It's
Yeah.
not like a
True.
heroic
True.
tale of,
True. True.
saving the day. It's like we barely scraped by.
Yeah.
Everyone died. Like
Yeah.
they don't want to talk about it or relive that shit. They just wish it never happened and they can
That's
forget
fine.
about it.
I could see that too, but it's just like still so important that you do not let like history forget like what y'all accomplished
Yeah.
that day. You know what I'm saying?
Something
Like
that big,
especially
especially
your
like,
kids, nigga. Like
yeah.
hell no. Like you gotta talk about that shit.
Yeah, and like they know that Maki like wiped out the clan, but it's like you don't know, like you
Yeah.
never ask Grandpa what happened to his forehead. Like why I don't have those on my face? Why do you? What is that? Like
Yeah. And it was like a really controversial thing that Yuta did end up doing. Like he was like, I'll become a monster for the sake of everyone else, surviving this conflict. He's like, I will literally wear my sensei's body in order to get the job done here. Like that's a gross thing to do and a gross feeling
yeah,
to have as the nigga who had to do it. So like I get it. You know what I'm saying? You don't wanna it was traumatic for you and or whatever, but still, nigga, nah, like I gotta tell my kids that shit, bro. Like at the very least.
yeah. I guess it's just something that the kids didn't want to tell because it's like how do you tell great Grandpa back in the day he unzipped his skull and put his brain in another body and fucking controlled it using a curse technique and then they grow up and it's like bro I can't like my grandpa was the shit and like I don't even have an ability my ability is like fucking sharp hands or whatever like it's a lot to live up to and like the sorcerers now I guess just aren't as strong as they were like
Yeah.
we're kind of in peacetime we just got like kidnappings and shit
Yeah. Yeah, it's
it's a whole
crazy.
different vibe
Yeah.
one thing most unrealistic part about this is we're 80 years later and there's no clankers where's the AI niggas
Clanka. You know what I'm saying? Chill on the hard R, bro. Like
what,
respect them. No, I'm kidding.
what clank
But
is that?
I love page 16 and 17 because like what it does for Tsurugi and Yuka's dynamic with this ring business. She notices it, dangling around his neck. He's like, I'm not giving it back. The three clans treated Granny like she was some kind of failure, but she never gave up and shut him up with her true power. And she's like, well, she kind of just massacred them, but she's like, and he's like, well, I want to be just as powerful as her. So he wants to be Maki, she wants to be Yuta, and you get this amazing art like metaphor that with this ring where it's like I feel like we're both chasing after our own ideas of the truth, and it's like a hamster wheel where you
Yeah, I love
have
this.
Yuka running one direction inside of the wheel and Tsurugi walking another direction on top of the wheel, and it's just such a good metaphor for exactly what their motivations are, where they're both kind of after the same thing, but walking kind of two technically different paths on the same cycle. And
Yeah,
that was just such a good visual detail from Iwasaki there. I wonder how much of that was Gege and how much of that was Iwasaki, but I do know that like Gege is like helping with storyboarding to a certain degree. So like
yeah, for
that's
sure.
cool because like I always think about like what the relationship between writer and artist kind of is when the writer can't actually draw at all, you know what I mean? And like you have to like take this vision in your mind and like properly communicate it to the artist in a way to where they can bring that idea from your head into reality without you having the capability of like actually painting the picture yourself. But that's not the case
Yeah,
here. Like Gege can very easily draw out what all of this shit is supposed to look like, and then have Iwasaki like refine it, in this presentable,
that's
way
probably
in
what
the
happened.
finished product. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's just cool to think about. But
One thing I'm very surprised to see is like it's not really a the situation with the ring isn't like a misunderstanding. Like she knows that he wants to give the ring back.
yeah,
Like on this, I wanted him to give me the ring back this whole time, and Sarugi's always wanted to give it back to me. But like, they know that he can't until he gets stronger, and she wants to get strong too. So it's like, at first I thought it was kind of a rivalry thing. I mean, it is, but like I thought that she didn't know, and she thought that he actually did want the ring for himself. But she understands that he doesn't want the ring,
yeah,
and he wants to give it back to her, but he needs it to protect himself.
yeah.
So they're cool characters. I saw somebody on Twitter complaining. Where was it? On the page where they're I have to be just like Maki and I want to be just like Yuta. Like somebody was like, hopefully they get an arc or something where they come into their own like character or something. And it's like that I don't like they instead of wanting to be like the next XYZ. It's like I don't think that's that big of a deal.
Right.
Like I think it's fine that they have role models and they have each other.
Yeah.
This is fine. I don't see anything wrong with this.
Me
I
neither.
don't have any complaints or dislikes
I think there's a lot of
for.
potential inside of their individual character arcs and inside of their dynamic together, like already on the page currently. And
Yeah,
like the more that it gets fleshed out, the more potent that writing is going to get. So I think that it's totally fine as is. Yeah.
I guess the only worry I could see is like someone who might be tired of like how many times they brought up Toji when Maki was in like in the spotlight. But like I don't think that's happening here.
No.
I don't think we're constantly getting like she's the next fucking Yuta Kotsu. I don't think we're gonna get anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Fucking they find this UFO or whatever fucking pin thing just floating where
The
they have their
mothership.
50,000 fucking niggas.
Yeah.
Fucking grandpa and granny are gone. We don't stand a chance. And then fucking Maru meets his brother and he's not a nice guy.
Yeah, I just need to know like what other jujutsu sorcerers are going to come into the cast and like what their abilities are going to be and like because it's like obviously we know that like cool characters are going to come in, but I mean if this generation of sorcerers are just weaker, at base than previous generation sorcerers from the original run, like it's like their abilities can't be too crazy, but they're still going to
Yeah.
be effective in some kind of way, and I'm just like really interested to see like what other members of the cast get added and what they're going to be able to do.
Yeah, because it's like it's been so long since Jujutsu Kaisen ended, like in universe, it's like 60 to 80 years. It's like most of them people, there ain't many people who I can think of or imagine who would still be alive.
Hakari.
Hikari, I guess with his technique, he's probably still gambling. He's just like an old man fucking gambling. He probably could still throw hands though.
Yeah, I could
Panda
see
should still be
him. I
around.
could see him being like, the old man character that still got it, like fucking, Z or like Netero in like Hunter x
Yeah,
Hunter, or fucking Yamamoto in Bleach, or
I can
fucking,
see that.
whatever, what have you. Like once, at least one other main cast member from the original run like has to be around and active. I mean, besides Yuji, obviously,
Yeah.
but
Well, I think Panda's still around because like he was left to like watch over like Yuta's kids. I think at the end of JJK.
yeah, yeah,
So I think he still exists as like a pet or whatever. Not a
yeah.
pet, but I don't remember.
He,
Like he
he's
was
there. He's around.
yeah. And then like Yuji is probably still around. Like yeah, it's just when the shit starts hitting the fan, like who's gonna fight this fucking Sukuna nigga?
Right,
And it can't be a situation where it's like I don't know, like somebody's got to be able to beat him,
right.
unless he ends up being a good guy. Like badder people come to the planet, and these guys actually do come to the aid of Earth.
I can see that too.
Yeah, but then it's like, are we gonna let the aliens steal the show from like our two main characters? Like,
Right.
are they gonna take the spotlight? And
I mean, shit, but that's not too far outside of the realm of possibility either, because like Gojo did that in the main run.
sure, sure,
You know what I'm saying? Like the main characters do not have to be, like the side cast can like pull up and stunt and do like shit that takes attention away from them very easily, especially because we already Gojo and other characters kind of set a precedent for that in Jujutsu Kaisen's original run. So
yeah. Interesting that like the way last chapter ended with Maru kind of like fucking flash banging dude with his fucking forehead eye, and then this chapter, like it doesn't show that they continued from there at all. It's just immediately, it goes into like the meeting with the people or whatever the aliens. But then when we see Yuka and Tsurugi, they're already away and they're talking about like aliens. That's a wild leap you're making there. It's like they didn't just
yeah,
see his eye, like they just kind of I guess Maru, covered it up and ran away or something, or like
They just
it's just
chose
weird that
not
they
to.
didn't
They just
like.
chose not to address it immediately.
Yeah, probably like scared of it being a threatening situation. Like if I acknowledge that he's an alien, he might flip and scramble my brains or something. But
Yeah.
just to have them not say nothing in the moment and then like walk down the street 20 minutes later, they're like, aliens, nah, aliens aren't real. It's
It's like,
like,
well, let's
I
go. Let's
mean,
go ask the nigga we just whooped then, because he's the one that put it in my mind in the first place.
yeah. And he's like, I knew you'd come. He's chilling in the fucking truck. I was like, what's going on here? Like a few minutes earlier, so Sarugi is distracting the one dude, and like she's opening the back of the truck to go in there, but
Hmm.
then they're both in there. So like, what a the
No,
perp might be.
they had told Buddy like, yo, we got to go talk to this nigga about some shit real quick.
Oh yeah, he might be concealing explosives. Okay.
Yeah, so you don't want to get like let the jujutsu sorcerers go in here in case we do get blown up, so that a pencil pusher like you don't got to get wrapped up in our shit. And he's like, all right, bet I don't want to get blown up, nigga. Don't go do your jujutsu thing, crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like, she goes, "Hang on, you're just gonna keep going with the premise that aliens are real." And he's like, "Huh? Is that where I gotta begin? Like, I gotta go that far back? Damn! Like,
Yeah,
you guys are kind of stupid. I thought you were Jujutsu sorcerers. Yeah, it's like he says you work with the paranormal every day, but you're denying the paranormal. It is kind of crazy. It's
yeah,
like
it is. They didn't think about
you
it
you
like
see
that.
this kind of shit all the time, but aliens is where you cross the line. You fucking summon shadow dogs and fucking spit fireballs and whatever else, but like aliens is crazy.
Yeah, it's just like the conflict of like sci-fi versus like occult. You know what I mean? Like for humanity's interpretation of this power, they think it comes from some kind of like spiritual occult, nucleus or starting point, where it really is like something that is just like it ends up being something that aliens can use too. So they're like, oh well, that's a little bit too sci-fi for my current understanding of how this power works. So it's easy to write off on an alien level because we're all attributing it to some like Shinto, religion, like mythology, folklore kind of thing at this point in
Yeah,
our understanding of it. So it makes enough sense, but yeah, no, they definitely didn't think about it like that. He kind of stumped them with that shit.
yeah. I'm thinking that we'll probably see a fight between Cross and Maru because Maru's like, yo, the Earthlings are cool. They're just like us, and he's like, that's not for you to decide. It seems our opinions on the matter are split
Yeah,
between conflict and coexistence. And Maru's like, no, conflict is wrong, and he does not give a fuck about what he's saying. And he
he's
said
like, if
that's
you're
your
sure,
job
then
right now as
yeah,
a
then do
warrior.
your job. Yeah, figure out if it really is wrong or not with information that you bring back to me.
Yeah.
You can know your role.
Seems that he acknowledges him as a warrior, though, at least, unless that's just his way of like, if you're really a warrior, then prove it.
Right.
Do your job.
Yeah.
But
And then
yeah,
fucking Tsurugi runs into Cross thinking it's Maru, and this nigga's got like an entirely different demeanor than like Maru ever had. He's like talking shit to him. And Tsurugi's like, "What the fuck is wrong with that nigga, bro? Like, you were cool as fuck last time I talked to you."
yeah, nigga said, "Shut up, don't talk to me," and fucking bounced. Like, yo,
Yeah,
what the fuck is up with dude? So,
yeah.
you think he's gonna chase him?
No, I think that the next time he runs into Maru, he's gonna be like, "Bro, what the fuck was that earlier?" And Maru's gonna be like, "What are you talking about, bro? I'm good guy Jones. I thought we were friends." He was like, "Nah, you was just talking shit though." And then Maru's gonna be like, "Oh my god, he ran into Cross," and that's gonna like spark like a whole new
Yeah,
like situation
that
inside
or
of
like
Maru's
he
mind.
goes back, he goes back to Yuka and is like, "Nah, fuck these guys. Like, this something's up with them," and then they just kind of like fucking give him the cold shoulder when he comes around.
Yeah, it's gonna create like a very like this last scene of the chapter. I could see that creating an issue inside of the cast dynamic between Maru, Tsurugi, and Yuka that goes unaddressed and misunderstood for a decent amount of time.
Yeah. Hmm. But yeah, I wonder about the whole twins thing because Sukuna was a twin and then Maru is a twin and like we
Yeah,
don't know more about these other guys, but like not Tengen might be a twin. Like I want to know if that's kind of a thing where like a lot of people are twins and share power or whatever. And yeah, Jabaloma,
Jabaloma. You say you
motherfucking
called
name.
him not Tengen.
Yeah, not Tengen.
You're an idiot. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
what? Nah, I was like Tengen. Oh,
like Jabaloma fat ass. Yeah, nigga got fucking a necklace hanging from his ear lobes.
yeah.
Everybody's got three eyes. Yeah, what does Samurian fucking what the hoes are like.
Right. That's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to see
Y'all got
what that be like.
y'all got 3 eyes. What they got 3 eyes? Shit.
Three titties
Yeah.
on some what's that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? Total Recall.
Fuck if I know. I was gonna say fucking scary movie.
Oh shit!
Fucking.
I think that was a Total Recall reference in Scary Movie though.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. I think three tittied alien is a Total Recall thing, but that could have been from something else too. I don't know, but
What movie was it where the girl had one?
one
That was
boob.
Kung Pao into the fist. The chick had like one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cyclop boob.
That movie was peak. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I love how they like talk about like the culture and the risk and stuff, like where they're talking about like we might be offending these guys by like approaching them as two males. Like you don't know what these niggas are like. Like they might see that and just immediately just jump into action. Like how dare you fucking approach us with two men? Like
Like where the
send a
bitches
woman or
at?
whatever. Yeah, that are like you trying to jump us, like nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah, but interesting stuff. Very looking forward to what comes next. We got to get some. We ain't got no kind of conflict this chapter.
Yeah.
This was straight
Straight
straight words.
dialogue, diplomacy.
Yeah, and it's I mean it's kind of what JJK is known for. You know, JJK was a wordy one. We got hands, and hands were splendid when we got them, but when we won't get in hands, we definitely got a lot of words.
We got
So
a lot of
we'll be back
this.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very what you expect for Gege Akutama. So.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I'm cool on this one. Looking forward to the next one, of course. What you thinking?
I'm also good.
Okay, and that's gonna do it for Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 2: Deterrence. All right, as usual, before we get up out of here, we got to do our thing. Got to hit that chapter of the week. So, what you thinking, man? What's your chapter of the week?
It's Ranger.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah, it's Ranger for sure. It had too much going on.
okay,
It was too romantic. It was too existential. It was too heartrending. It was too philosophical.
yeah,
It had everything going on.
that's crazy.
I don't think anything else on the list this week kind of jumped out at me narratively as as potently as Ranger did.
Okay, shit. Well, Ranger for you, and honestly, Ranger for me too. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you to go Ranger, but yeah, definitely Ranger hit everything I needed it to hit. It was a banger. I felt it. I don't remember if I cried, but I wanted to. I felt it in my chest. That
Yeah.
shit hurt. It
My
was
heart
a great
cried if my
chapter.
eyes didn't.
Yeah, it was a good one, and you know, it was a tough battle for chapter of the week. A lot of great chapters this week. But yeah, Ranger just did it, man, and we had a great conversation talking about Ranger. So if you're not listening or reading Ranger Reject, you should change that. Go check that out. But
Yeah, go
yeah, banger
experience peak.
chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was you know, one of my favorite characters, and their send off was phenomenal. It's great.
Yes, sir.
So banger chapter. That's gonna do it for we. You know, it's just us two. We ain't got Traffy or Weeb. Them suckers sick. So two for Ranger this week. That's the 100%er. That's chapter of the week. Now I'm gonna check out some of these here comments because you guys left a lot. We had like 42 comments in the comment section last week. So
Hey.
just gonna flip through. I ain't really got none on my heart or whatever. But let's see. At Roman12 Gamer, shout out to you. In Gachi Yakuza, you kept talking about a power-up enemy who just gets strangers, but Fu has always been there. We see him getting crazy strong when using his vital instrument. I can't remember what this is in reference to.
I
Um,
think we were talking about in Gachi Akuta about the potential of there being someone who uses the anima power system to just amplify their physical stats to a
okay,
crazy degree. And yeah, I guess I do be forgetting about Fu a lot
okay,
because he only really activated like one time, like 3 arcs ago or something.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, that's a good
I
example,
gotta
I
go back
guess.
and gotta go back and reread that part because I feel like Fu kind of had like a an alternate personality thing. I think he had like a doll, and like the personality within the doll like took over and swapped places with him. I could be wrong,
It was something like
but
that,
it's
yeah.
yeah. I didn't think of that as like beefing up his own stats though, but like just personality swapping, and then that other personality kind of being like psycho. But
Yeah, it was like a Hakuba Cavendish kind of situation.
yeah. Yeah, that could be it. I'm gonna have to go back and look because I do not remember. But I fuck with Fu. He's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got one from at KVNG7723. These people don't remember shit about Jujutsu Kaisen, like WTF. It's been a year, bruh.
Ah,
You gonna have to cut us some
sorry,
slack, bro.
sorry, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, like
We're
niggas,
trying, okay?
niggas just read JJK weekly back in the day and still did like you. You gotta cut me some slack because I was on niggas ass hella when JJK was recent and coming out each week. There was still niggas calling Kenjaku Ghetto up until fucking the end of this year. Like up until he was dead, people were still calling him Ghetto. So I don't want to hear it.
Right.
Just because I misremember a couple things from a year ago. Nah,
Yeah.
you got to cut us some slack on that, man.
Yeah. Not too much. Not too much.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't
Here we
know if
go.
like I
Oh,
don't know if like Jujutsu Kaisen is gonna need a reread. Like if we're gonna be covering Modulo, like I would love to just reread Jujutsu Kaisen. Like even if Modulo didn't exist, I was already planning on doing that.
yeah.
I don't know if Modulo is going to expedite that process or not. Like maybe I'll something will happen in the story to where I'm like, okay, I got to go back through Jujutsu Kaisen like immediately. Otherwise, I'm gonna feel like I shouldn't be talking about Modulo. We'll see if that ever happens in the new spinoff or continuation. But for right now, like we chilling, we chilling.
Yeah, something I wish I would have said actually because I remember I had planned on saying it during the JJK segment, but I forgot until this very moment. But like in the last review, like last week, I was saying how I like how it seems like this is an opportunity for Gege to touch up on some things that maybe he didn't expand on enough or maybe forgot or whatever. And it's like with Modulo, I really hope we see what happens when someone breaks a binding vow. Like
Yeah,
I hope that that gets fucking touched up on because it seems like that might be something that either Gege forgot or maybe like it's very possible. You know, it's not. I don't think it's crazy to say like he just didn't have the idea back then, and then in a year's time he was like, okay, I know what the consequence of breaking a binding vow will be now because he hasn't had that. You know, writing a
yeah.
series like JJK weekly is a lot of strain. So it's like he probably just never had the time to fucking
To
sit and
work it
think
into the
about like
story.
yeah, it's like, oh man, I don't know, and I don't really have time to fucking, figure it out and write it in there, make it sound good, make it make sense. But after a year, it's like, yeah, boom, fucking, what happens when you break a binding vow? Your fucking big toe shrinks or whatever. You know, it becomes your little toe. He could do that now, and I'm hoping to see that along with like the stuff that we're seeing where it's like they're referring to Shinjuku or Shibuya as ground zero and talking about the event that led fucking started this whole Jujutsu sorcerer kidnapping and all that stuff. I'm
Yeah.
loving the the stuff that we get after the fact. So that's all dope. But I hope
Maybe
we also
we
touch on shit.
yeah, maybe we also this could be like a part of the greater conflict of Modulo later towards the end of the series. I know it's going to be a short run, but like we could get like a merger in the form of like the Sumerians,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
They
we
could
could
be like, fuck it,
yeah
do it.
do the merger with us, do the merger with the aliens, and then we got to fight that here on Earth somehow.
Yeah, like that's very possible. Like that could be their whole plan. Like they could be, posing as refugees and they actually just go to planets and start mergers. Like, here, yep, fuck y'all. Like all 8 billion life forms are getting turned into a thing and we're gonna eat it later or
Yeah,
whatever, to fuel our
especially because the human trafficking has like for the energy that Japanese citizens kind of like have has been a real business in the story like since the end of the original run. Like that like kind of
yeah.
just had started, like the talks for that had just kind of started towards the end of Jujutsu Kaisen when Kenjaku went to all of the other geopolitical superpowers like America and shit like that and started telling them about Jujutsu sorcerers, and that's what kind of like kickstarted that kidnap Japanese bodies for their energy kind of like idea in the criminal underworld. So that
Mhm.
could all be going towards a potential merger on the alien side of things in the sequel. So you never know.
Super crazy to paint like that target on Japan too, where it's like, yeah, you just go to every other nation, they'd be like, yeah, you should kidnap Japanese people because they have like a special energy that can be used to fucking power your cities. And it's like, bro, what?
Yeah,
just go to Japan and kidnap
yeah,
niggas.
yeah, yeah. That can
Yeah.
retroactively like give Kenjaku a lot more credibility with his last line of dialogue before his defeat in the original run too, because he was like, "My will live on." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, maybe not in this comic, but 70 years later in the sequel, sure. Here you go,
Yeah.
Kenjaku, you're back now.
And yeah, and it's like to him, I mean, 70 years is nothing. Yeah, he doesn't live to see it, but like
Yeah,
Kenjaku is alive for like 1,000 years. So 70 years later, that's still
right.
good time. That's just like
Yeah,
microwaving a pizza for him, yeah.
yeah.
Like that's a drop in the hat. But
Yeah.
so last comment I'll read from now. At S3 Studios 597, he says, I'd have to imagine the whole thing with having the anime and manga lineup isn't all that new, but then again, modern anime and manga works very differently from back in the day, and it was probably a lot harder even if they wanted to. I'm pretty sure My Hero Academia has done it at least a few times, but I can't remember. My Hero is also the first series where I actively was keeping up with the anime and the manga at the same time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I remember that conversation that we were having. Yeah, and I guess it does make sense that it's a little bit easier to line up what happens in an anime with what happens in a manga if you're going seasonal instead of like, weekly episodes from start to finish, like a One Piece or, a Naruto or a Bleach.
Yeah,
So,
because you can kind of like plan out, like, oh yeah, in a year, I know I want to fucking,
yeah,
have an arc that involves XYZ character doing a thing.
yeah. At the same time that
Anime
the
probably be
anime will be
back.
covering that content from a year
Yeah,
ago, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. That's a good
yeah,
point.
'cause it,
That's a good comment.
yeah, yep, yep. And I think that is going to. Oh, somebody said at Hope Estime 15. Sorry if I'm saying the wrong name wrong. Also, I love Traffy being back because I swear his early predictions come true, and now I expect Ichi to do half drive from form for his magics. I don't know what that is,
That's a Kingdom Hearts
but
reference thing.
okay.
And
Don't be
that's
don't be giving.
obviously Traffy's burner account, but yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I was gonna say, don't be giving Traffy no fucking points, bro.
Yeah,
Like
that's
none.
his. That's Traffy's other account for sure. That's not even a real person. But thanks, I guess, Traffy, for your comment.
Yeah.
Guy,
Shout out Traffy. You should have been here.
good one,
Anyway,
bro. Yeah.
slacker. Anyway, that's going to do it for comments of the week. So, yeah, man, that's going to do it. This was Shonen Pulse, episode 38. We covered like 8 manga or 9, whatever. You know what it is. We always do this. We here every Sunday, except when we're not. And then we're here on Mondays. And then you see us on Tuesdays. But, you know, hit the buttons, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for helping us get 1,000 subscribers. Thanks for our last video was the first one to hit 1,000 views in a week. In a while, we used to do that. We was Mr. Big Numbers, but our numbers kind of dwindled. But we getting back, baby. Help us get back up there. Hit the hype button, please. It's down there next to the like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Make sure you hit all those buttons. They should all be lit up. Hit those buttons. We also are on Patreon and on we got members on here. You don't have to, but if you want to, you should. You should help us out. Not a donation, but subscribe and we got $1 tier up there if you want to support the channel. Help us keep doing what we do because bills are racking up and families got to be fed and all that good
We
stuff.
need
And we all
McChickens.
we all like McChickens. You
And
like
we'll
McChickens?
we'll have exclusive content on the Patreon and the membership tab eventually too. But
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll get some blooper reels and some funny jokes in there, some stuff like that. You might hear some behind the scenes conversations and stuff like that that ain't included in the edited version of the podcast or whatever. But
yeah,
for now, it's just support. If you want to do that, we appreciate you. If not, thanks for watching the video. We appreciate that and your like and all that stuff. It goes a long way.
yeah.
We're on Spotify and we're on Spotify,
Soon,
right?
yeah, definitely Spotify. Soon to be Apple Music. What else we got? Public Discord coming soon. I gotta get on that. I'll have that probably done before the next episode comes out. Hopefully, depending on my work schedule. What else? Oh yeah, me and Yato are gonna go live on Twitch eventually. So go subscribe to the Twitch, twitch.com or twitch.tv/panelfocus because we'll be going live to do manga catch-ups and live readings and read-alongs or whatever, what have you. There's also new lines of content coming soon. We want to do a monthly show soon. We all got to catch up on the monthly series that we'll be including in that show, but that is on the way as well. But yeah, big moves, major moves on the horizon for the expansion of Panel Focus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got to get some more content so we can start getting some guests on here too. Let us know down below. Hit the comment section up. Let us know who you want to see on the show. We'll start inviting people once we get some more content coming because a lot of people ain't reading all 9 or 10 things that we're talking about, so it's hard to invite guests. But we're gonna try and make it work in the future. But that's gonna do it. You got anything else for people?
Nope, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking, sharing, hyping, commenting. Love ya. See you next time.
Holla holla. No shout outs for Traffy and Weave. F those guys.